What's up everyone, how are you all? Today we are back with another amazing Naruto story. What if Kami sealed the third Hokage in Naruto? If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments. In a dark alley in Konoha, no one's Pav, a young boy, no older than 4, is getting beaten up by the villagers. They're kicking him, shoving kunais in his frail little body and burning him. All in all, a painful experience. They laugh at his misery. Why are they doing this to a young boy? Because these stupid villagers are blinded by hate and believe this cute boy is the nine-tailed fox, who killed their loved ones. He begs for mercy, but it falls to deaf ears. Then, they do the unthinkable. They start to rape him. The leader, a pink-haired guy, starts to take off his already worn-out clothes. The young boy knows what they're going to do and becomes afraid. He gets pulled into his mindscape to see a crying third Hokage and a sad nine-tailed fox in a forest in his mind. You see, the young boy found out about them when he was 3, and he loves them. Naruto. The third Hokage cries. Gigi. Naruto runs up to the Hokage and cries. I'm sorry Naruto, it's all my fault. The nine-tailed fox says. Naruto shakes his head, indicating a no. It isn't Kurama ni. They're at fault. Humans are blinded by fear and fear turns to hate. When this happens, they push their hatred to the closest thing, which happens to be me. Besides, you were being controlled, you couldn't help it. For a 4-year-old boy, Naruto is really smart. He had to grow up quickly to survive. If you're wondering why the third Hokage is there, this is what happened. Flashback no jutsu. The nine-tailed fox is currently attacking the village. 3 kids were born that minute. Kushina looked at them, pale and sickly. There were 2 boys and 1 girl. She names the red-haired boy Menma, the blonde girl Mito and the blonde boy Naruto. Their father is currently fighting against the controlled fox. He starts to seal the fox inside his child Naruto, but the third stops him and goes forward. Stop, Minato. You have a family to take care of. Minato looks at his hero and smiles. Thanks, Hiruzen. My last wish is for you to take care of your family. Treat them equally. Sarutobi, third Hokage, seals the fox in Naruto and was about to die when he heard Kami's voice. Hiruzen, I will not take your life, but seal it in Naruto. I have a feeling he won't be treated well and you will need your love. Nobody but Hiruzen heard that and was sealed along with the nine-tailed fox in Naruto. Flashback no jutsu. Kai. Gigi started to comfort Naruto in his mindscape. Kurama, the nine-tailed fox, did the same. Outside, however, Naruto is being badly raped. He stops screaming as he is in his mindscape. You dare do THISSSSS to a child. An angry and demonic voice comes towards the S*TTY villagers. They look to where the voice was heard and see none other than Orochimaru, along with 3 Anbu. He is no child. He is a demon, a stupid villager says. Silence. He is a young boy who is protecting you by keeping the real monster at bay. Orochimaru says. That's a lie. Another idiotic villager says. It's sad how you can't see the difference between a kunai and a scroll. An Anbu says. They look to see a few familiar faces. Mr. Haruno, Mizuki and a few of the Anbu that were supposed to be protecting Naruto. Angered by this, Orochimaru ordered the 3 Anbu to take them to Ibiki. Ibiki is a perfect punishment as he becomes a real monster to anyone who hurts Naruto. Orochimaru picks up the young boy who is covered in dirt, his blood and a little semen. He heads to his home where he lives with the other 2 Sannin. He soon sees Naruto coming out of his mindscape. Hello kiddo. Orochimaru says. Naruto weakly smiles. Uncle Orochi, he says softly. He loves a few people, one of them being Orochimaru. Orochimaru smiles sadly at the boy. Let's go home and have miso ramen with pork for dinner. That's your favorite. Naruto nods and cuddles in his uncle. At the 3 Sannin house. No one's Pav. Uncle Orochi enters his house. It's a house in the forest of death, away from the village. They enter and Tsunade immediately runs to them. She sees the bruised and bloody boy and wraps her arms around him. She then feels something odd. She looks and finds the semen. Her ki released and flooded the whole forest of death. She looks at Orochimaru while cuddling the young boy and says, Orochimaru, did they? Orochimaru knows what she's asking and nods. We got there too late. The Anbu who were supposed to keep Naruto safe were the ones who lead the mob to him. Now Tsunade's ki grew more gruesome and also flooded the village. Everyone either shivered, fainted, or were already fast asleep, so nothing happened to them. Jiraiya and Shizune heard everything and they released their ki, but controlled it to only flood the house and not affect Naruto. Tsunade took the sad boy and helped him take a bath. The three Anbu returned and entered the house. They removed their masks to show Itachi, Kakashi, and Anko. They all were the same. They loved Naruto and didn't think of him as a monster. They also deeply hated the Hokage and Kushina for turning a blind eye and neglect Naruto. They changed their clothes and sat down for dinner. Makoto and Fugaku Uchiha were also people who loved Naruto. When they heard what happened, Itachi informed them. They left to go to Ibiki to help him torture the villagers who attacked Naruto. Their little Sasuke was already asleep, so they didn't have to worry about him. As soon as they were done, although not fully satisfied, they headed to the house and arrived 10 minutes after the Anbu. They too felt the same way as the Anbu and Sannin, but they hated their friends, Minato and Kushina, more. All of them sat down, waiting for the young boy. He came out, being carried by Tsunade. He wore a lovely kimono that made all the girls squeal. He looked like a girl. With a wig and curves, he'd be the prettiest girl in the village. Naruto's kimono. Soon, Kurama and Hiruzen popped out of Naruto. Kami let them do that, but only for a bit. Kurama came out in human form. Kurama in human form with ears and tails. This is Naruto's real family. He loved them and they loved him. His birth parents ignored and neglected him. They beat him up every time he came home injured, saying the villagers did it. They believed the villagers more than their own son. His birth siblings beat him up whenever they got the chance. No, that is not a family. Naruto's uncles and aunts are Tsunade, Orochimaru, Jiraiya, Hiruzen, Makoto and Fugaku. His siblings are Kurama, Shizune, Itachi, Kakashi, Anko and Ibiki. Those are his family. They sat down and ate their ramen while chatting happily together. They succeeded in making Naruto forget the unfortunate accident. Suddenly, a knock was heard at the door. Tsunade got up and walked to the door, smiling happily. She opened the door and when she saw who it was, her smile turned to a frown. "What do you want, Kushina? What do you want, Kushina?" Kushina looks at Tsunade and says, "I haven't seen Naruto all week, so I was wondering if he was annoying you." Tsunade noticed the slip-up, causing her ki to flare. This made the others curious, so Makoto, Jiraiya, Orochimaru, Naruto and Shizune decided to see what was going on, so they peeped. "Well, only after a week you noticed? Why bother then? Well, he is part of the family. You don't treat him like that though. It gets treated better than it should. So Naruto's an IT, not a HE? So being beaten up by the village is his treatment? It is just lying. The villagers are not evil enough to do that. How do you know that when you don't even look after him? How do you know if he is lying or not? I spent time with him." "Really? And when was that? And why did you say him instead of it? Clearly you don't think of him as a human. He isn't. Get out." "Excuse me?" Makoto decided to intervene and come out of hiding. "I am truly disappointed in you, Kushina. To treat your own son so poorly. He is such a nice boy who doesn't lie." "What do you know?" Kushina asks. "I have been with him longer than you have. Becoming someone who he can trust. I have seen him in his darkest moments since he was born, 4 long years ago. Now, I would appreciate it if you would leave. Naru-chan is inside with the people who care about him. Don't think I'll forget what you said about him so soon. In fact, we are no more friends. I won't be friends with someone who is rude to a young boy. Good night and get lost." Tsunade slammed the door and Kushina walked away, sad. They suddenly heard sobbing and turned around to see a crying Naruto. "Naru-chan's Pav. She never cared for me. She called me an it. Why? I start sobbing when a pair of arms envelope me. I look to see Ba-chan crying while hugging me. Don't cry. It'll make me want to cry more. Let it all out, sweetie," she says, and I immediately start bawling. All while think of what I did wrong to her to make her not even see me as a human. After 10 minutes, I start feeling sleepy. The darkness took over. Good night. Tsunade's Pav. Naruto finally calmed down and slept. I took him to his room and tucked him in. I went out looking to see Orochimaru, telling the rest what we saw. Needless to say, everyone started releasing their ki. I think it's finally time. Orochimaru, Jiraiya, I think it's time. SSSSSO it ISSSS. Couldn't agree more. Everyone looked at us confused. I started to speak. We have been looking at Naruto's life for a few months. His parents neglecting him and calling him a demon. His siblings bullying him, verbally and violently. The villagers raping him. It's safe to say that the people here don't plan on looking underneath the underneath and see that he isn't a monster. We thought about this for a while. The three of us, due to our Sannin rights, will take Naruto out of here. Naruto won't be classified as a missing nin as he isn't a ninja. Makoto speaks. Will we be able to see him? I want to talk to him. I consider him as my third son. Tsunade says, you're all ninjas here that don't have the Sannin rights, so no. But I'll make sure that you write to each other. Only us care about him. Don't tell Sasuke about him. He should meet Naruto without knowing who he is. Why? I want to see drama, where Naruto isn't dying. Besides, better to see than hear. Alright, when will you be leaving? The minute Naruto wakes up. Jiraiya, get our things packed. Orochimaru, get Naruto's stuff. I'll go inform the Hokage. I'll also make adoption papers where we are his guardians. He'll be Naruto Senju, son of Sannin. How will you persuade him? I'll threaten him if talking won't work. Alright, tell him that if he doesn't agree the Uchihas will leave Konoha. Hokage's office. No one's pav. Minato is being held up by the amount of paperworks. He keeps muttering stuff about damn paperwork. Suddenly, Tsunade's Shunzin's there. Minato looks up. Hello Tsunade. What can I do for you? Minato, I want you to know that Jiraiya, Orochimaru and I will be taking Naruto with us outside this cursed village. What? Why? We need you three. Oh? And what about Naruto? What? Cat got your tongue? Well in that case, sign this. What are those? One is to let Naruto come with us. The second one is adoption paper where Naruto will become a Senju. What? Why will I allow you to adopt him? I won't allow any of it. You will allow it or else. Or else what? Jiraiya, Orochimaru and I will no longer be Leaf Ninja. The Uchiha clan will no longer be part of Konoha. Your choice. But, he is my son. When have you ever acted like a father? Don't bother acting, I know you would love to get rid of him. Well since you know, he immediately signs the papers. Part of him wants the Sannin and Uchihas, part of him wants to get rid of the demon. Tsunade took the papers and sunshined back home. At home, no one's pav. Naruto woke up to the sound of ruckus. He goes out of his room to see Uncle Orochi sealing stuff. Uncle Orochi? What are you doing? Hello Naruto. We are gonna leave this place with you today. Really? Everyone? No. Just Ba-chan, Pervy Sage, Kurama ni, Gigi Ndi. But, what about the rest? Anko comes up. Cheer up Geki. We'll keep in touch okay? Once you get stronger, you will return if you want to. Itachi walks up. Seems like you're part Uchiha, huh? Everyone laughs. Ibiki came by to say goodbye to his brother. Everyone wishes the six, Kurama and Hiruzen is there, goodbye. Naruto was happy that he left the god-forsaken village but sad that he couldn't meet face to face with the ones he loves. He knew this was for the better as the pros completely outweighed the cons. Goodbye Konoha. It's been a few days since we left that village. I can't believe we actually left. We are currently in some village, I don't know the name, and they are really kind. I wonder, if they knew if I was a Jinchuriki would they treat me like the way my Lady Kushina and the Hokage along with the village treated me? I don't know Kit, they may be different. Thanks Kurama ni, but please don't read my mind. Alright Naruto. You are no more Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. You are Naruto Senju, the next heir to the Senju clan, my clan. Ba-chan said. Arigato Tsunade Baa-chan. I can't contain my excitement. Naruto, what would you like to learn? Uncle Orochi asked. I want to learn medical ninjutsu like Tsunade Ba-chan. I also want to learn weapons and sealing. Also summoning. Very interesting choices Squirt. So, medical ninjutsu, bukajutsu and fuinjutsu. Tsunade can teach you medical stuff. Orochimaru and I can teach you how to use weapons. As for sealing, Hiruzen and I will teach him sealing. You sure Kurama? I am not a 1,000 years old fox for show. Alright, for summoning. Naruto, which animals do you like? I like foxes, wolves and snakes. Kit, since I am a fox demon, I also have the fox summoning. Would you like to sign it? That is if they approve. Orochimaru could do the same for snakes. For wolves, I have a friend who's a wolf summon, I could ask him. Really? Yata, Naruto, my boy, you need to get stronger first. They will observe you when you least expect it and see if you are worthy. Only then they will allow you to sign it. First, start training. In a month or so, they will tell you if you are worthy or not. Alright Gigi. Kurama ni started my physical training. It's terrible. He put 20 kilograms weights on me and started making me run around the village 100 times and I'll always do push-ups and sit-ups 100 times each. That's one set. He made me do 5 sets. I am only 4. By the time I finished, dinner was ready. Everyone said I'll do this for the first week, then they'll start my basic training. Like chakra training. Time skipped to a month. Same village. No one's POV. Naruto was training with swords with Orochimaru. He used a basic sword for training purposes as he doesn't own his sword. They were doing quite well. Naruto lost his chubby face and has an 8-pack. He learned his chakra really quickly, considering he is an Uzumaki and has Kurama's chakra. They started training him for the fields he chose and he has showed promising results. All of fields are above Genin level, low Chunin. Thanks to Kurama, he has advanced hearing, smell and sight. His chakra elemental affinities are lightning, wind, water and fire, and it's just been a month. Naruto is currently sparring with Orochimaru, while 3 figures stood in the shadows. Jiraiya stood next to them. So, is he worthy for your summon? Jiraiya asked. I believe he is. It's a good thing I listened to Kurama. Yes, this boy is extraordinary. My kind can always find promising people. Kurama finding him is an example. Yes for me. The 3 replied individually. When will we tell him? Jiraiya asked. When he sends SSSUSSS. Orochimaru and Naruto stopped sparring. Naruto looked in the direction of the 3 figures. Pervy Sage, who are they? They are the summons, Naruto. The figures approached as they grew bigger. Thank God they go outside the village to train. The huge snake spoke first. Hello Naruto. I am Manda. The boss SS summon of the SS Snakes SS. I would like you to SS sign a contract with USSS. ISS see great potential in you. A scroll suddenly poofed in front of Naruto. Naruto signed his name in it with his blood. He wrote, Naruto. Last names weren't required as their blood, which was used to sign the name, identified the individual. Thank you, Manda-chan. There was a moment of silence. Chan? The 3 Sanin and Hiruzen screamed. Yes, I am a female. Boy, how did you know? I don't know how. Something in me told me you were a girl. I am right. You are very interesting. SS's CUSS soon boy. Manda poof and disappeared. A snake tattoo appeared on Naruto's left hand. Next, a fox approached Naruto. Kit, you are amazing, just like Kurama said you are. I will let you sign the fox summoning contract. By the way, I'm Ku, the boss summon for foxes. Naruto again signed his first name in and the fox and scroll disappeared. Naruto got a fox tattoo below his snake tattoo. Lastly, a giant wolf approached. Hello pup. I am Ulrika, the boss summon for the wolves. I too accept you as our main summoner. Here you go. Naruto signed his first name again and a wolf tattoo appeared below the fox tattoo. Naruto said goodbye and Ulrika and the scroll poofed away. Congratulations my boy, you just made 3 summoning contracts. Make them proud. I will Gigi. A month later, October 10th. No one's POV. With Naruto. Naruto got another nightmare last night. It happens when his birthday comes soon. In his nightmares, the villagers torture him, stabs him, burns him. But this time, no one comes to help him. It isn't as gruesome as his nightmares on his previous birthdays, maybe because he is away from them and living happily. Naruto woke up and got out of bed. He had a shower and dressed up in his normal clothes. Naruto walked out of his room to see all the lights were off in the living room. Not to mention, I was somehow dark. Naruto switched on the lights and confetti burst everywhere. Hiruzen, Tsunade, Orochimaru, Jiraiya, Kurama and the 3 boss summons in chibi form. Manda, Ku and Ulrika shouted, Happy birthday Naruto. The place was decorated. Naruto looked at them with watery eyes and pounced on them saying, Thank you, guys. Naruto, this is from me. I give you a sword I thought suited you very well. Uncle Orochi handed Naruto a sword. The sword shone and Naruto and the sword somehow connected. This is Naruto's main weapon. Thank you Uncle Orochi. Naruto said in admiration that he finally got a sword that is only his. It is icy looking. A small tattoo appeared on Naruto's right hand. It was a drawing of a sword. He can always get it back, even when it is taken from him. Naruto, this is a one-of-a-kind dagger. This can harm someone but cannot kill. Use it when sparring with a friend. It will also show that person a genjutsu, where it will show your pain to that person. Jiraiya said, handing him a dagger. A small tattoo of a dagger appeared below Naruto's sword tattoo. Naruto, happy birthday. The SSS Snakeus and I decided to give you a SS sword. It has Poisson in it that will only release if you command it to. Use it wisely. Manda gave Naruto a purple-looking sword that had a face on it. It disappeared and a miniature version appeared as a tattoo below the dagger. Naruto thanked her. Pup, congrats on your birthday. We wolves give you a sword too. This sword is sharper than any fang. It can cut through a full-grown tree easily. It's dull right now, but if you command it to be sharper, it will. Ulrika said, and a tattoo of the sword in miniature version appeared below Manda's sword tattoo. Naruto thanked Ulrika. Kit, happy birthday. The foxes and I give you this sword. It has the fire element. Will it and it will be surrounded by flames, increasing your offense. You can will it to burn, hurt or just for show. Ku gave him the orange, fire-colored sword. It disappeared and a miniature version tattoo appeared below Ulrika's sword tattoo. Naruto thanked Ku. The swords. Left to right. Ulrika's gift, Orochi's gift, Jiraiya's gift, Ku's gift and Manda's gift. Naruto, I give you my medical scrolls. It is the most advanced in this world. It shows jutsus and many other things. Use it wisely. Tsunade said, handing him 6 scrolls. He took it and thanked her. He sealed it in a scroll, which he says has his most treasured items. Kit, here is and I think it's time to give you a different kind of Kekkei Genki. It has been with me and I give it to you. Hiruzen modified it a bit so it won't have any troubles when I give it to you. This is called Borinin. It allows you to control fire and water by will. No hand signs needed. It will activate and immediately protect you if you are in danger. Hiruzen here will teach you the Uzumaki Kekkei Genki, chakra chains. Happy birthday my Kit. Kurama pokes his head and Naruto feels pain in his eyes. He opens it only to see his new Kekkei Genki, Borinin. Pick above and below. Naruto looks in the mirror. Cool. He says, Kit, I will teach you how to use it. Also, I want to give you my last name, Kitsune. That way you can have better access to the Borinin. I can perform the blood link tonight where you will be my Kit, even by blood. Do you accept? Yes. Then you are now Naruto Senju Kitsune. Arigato. Naruto, this came for you by your favorite people in Konoha. Tsunade handed him a box filled with small presents. Kakashi gave Naruto fingerless gloves and a scroll on how to use Chidori. They all knew his chakra elemental affinities. The Uchihas gave Naruto a scroll on their fire jutsu and Itachi's crow jutsu. Anko and Ibiki gave Naruto senbons, the ones they use for torturing a person. He wrote them a letter and thanked them. Kurama showed Naruto how to release the Borinin from his eyes and they went out to enjoy the whole day. The boss summons came in their human forms. In the night, Kurama performed the blood link by biting himself and making Naruto drink his blood while he was chanting something. Once it was done, Naruto's hair grew longer, has sharper teeth, his nails also became sharper, and he has fox ears and 9 foxtails, like Kurama's. Kurama taught him how to make his ears and tails disappear. This was Naruto's favorite birthday. Leaf Village. Kushina's Pav. It's been 6 months since Makoto has ever talked to me. She made it very clear she hates me because I treated him that way. They say he's a human and something in me believes that. I always thought of him as a demon but something in me kept telling me he's a human, but I ignored it. I always thought that he may bring destruction to my family. I realized he is my family too. Ever since he left, I felt a little guilty. No one in my family did, in fact they celebrated. I couldn't. Today I am doing something I never thought I would. Go to his room. I walk upstairs and enter the room, attic. It is dark, gloomy and depressing. I look only to see a sleeping bag, a dusty and broken cupboard and a broken and old desk. There is a dustbin where many flies are attracted to it for some reason. I shoo them away and see something that made me want to puke. Lots of bandages covered in blood. Why? This room, attic isn't a place for someone to live in. I feel something stab my heart. I look at the desk to see a diary and a note on it. It read, "To Kushina, Naruto made me leave this here if you. This is only for your eyes so only you can break the seal on it. Don't show anyone. From Orochimaru. Why would Naruto leave this for me?" I unlocked the seal and read. It's Naruto's diary from age 1 to 4. Wait, 1? He could write this well at that age 1? The first entry read, "To diary. Oba-chan left this you here and told me to write in it. She taught me how to write and read. She's scary, but I know she loves me. I wish my real mom loved me like this too. I love her but she think I am demon. Why? I don't know. She hate me? Maybe. I love her though. Mama just glare at me so maybe she no hate me that much. My family hate me a lot. Today, I asked Papa if he can play with me but he hit me on face. Then my bro and sis kick me. Goodbye, Naruto. Age 1. I look at this and felt a pang in my heart. They hit him at age 1? I am no better. I glared at me. I looked at the another entry. Dear diary, I have gotten better at spelling. Tsunade Oba-chan made sure of that. Scary. Uncle Orochi helped me too. Also creepy sage. He very creepy. He looks at a orange book and giggles weird. Itachi ni, Kaka ni and Enko ne came to the Sanin house. I was there. We ate dango. And ramen. I love ramen datbayo. I start saying datbayo a few months ago. I once told Papa that but he hit me in the stomach and punched me in the face. Why? I start to cry but he laugh. He glare at me, like the villagers. Evil, mean and scary. Every time I am outside, everyone glare street me. But today, a person hit my head with a bottle. Uncle Orochi was there and he hit the person and sent him to Enko ne and Ibiki ni. They hurt bad people. Tsunade Obaa-chan heal me and so did Kurama ni. Kurama ni is the nine-tailed fox. Everyone is talking mean things about him but he is so kind. But he loves to tease me. He didn't attack the village because he wanted to, he was controlled D2. By a person named Mi. No I think it Ma? Yes, Madara Uchiha. Everyone I love him too. He is so nice. Bye bye, Naruto. Age 2. What? He knows about the Kyuubi? He is nice and was forced to attack. Wait, why did I think Naruto is a demon? Oh no, what have I done? I flipped to another entry. Dear diary, yesterday is the worst day. I was attacked by the villagers. They beat me up. They called me monster, demon and murderer. Why? I never hurt anyone. When I came home, Mum asked me why I was late and when I told her, she slapped me. I thought she would believe me. She starts shouting at me and the Hokage punch me. The Hokage's children kicked me when I went up. Did no one see my bruises? Kaka ni came and I told him and he believed me. He said he will help me. Kurama ni came in his human form to help me. Today I met Auntie Makoto and Uncle Fugaku. They saved me when I was being attacked. They heal me. I told them about my life and they wanted to hurt Mum and her family but I begged them not to. I will earn Mama's trust. As for the Hokage and his children, I know they hate me way too much but at least I have Mum. I don't hate her, maybe a little. Goodbye, Naruto. Age 3. He wrote this? He believed in me but I did not. What kind of mother am I? But, the villagers are always kind to us. They must know he is my son so why would they attack him? I dropped the diary and an envelope came out. It read, To Kushina, Naruto wrote this and told me to leave this in the diary. From Orochimaru. I opened the envelope and started to read the letter. It read, To Lady Kushina, I now understand that you hate me as much as your family. Don't worry, the demon is gone. The Hokage signed the adoption letter and now I am a Senju. I hate your family but it seems I can't hate you. Thank you for bringing me to this world. I got to meet nice people. Although I was surrounded by hate. Every year on my birthday, there is this thing called Fox Hunt where the villagers hurt me more than usual. But today, I was raped. Uncle Orochi stopped it before it could get worse. I will come back. If you are reading this then I believe you care. This seal lets me know if you opened it. Thank you for caring. Please go to the hospital and check my records are henge like me, so you will know the truth. Goodbye. I may return. From Naruto Senju. I lost my son. Why? What have I done? It's all my fault. I decided to henge into Naruto and go outside. Everyone was glaring, calling Naruto monster and demon and murderer. A person threw a bottle at me. Many villagers ganged up on me with weapons in their hands. Afraid, I sunshined to the hospital and released my henge. I entered the hospital and asked for Naruto's records. It showed very fatal wounds and all. I couldn't believe it. Everything he said was true. What kind of mother am I? I ran to Naruto's room, attic and locked myself in. I made a blood clone to attend to my family. No one's pav. After that day, the real Kushina locked herself up in the attic for 3 months. All while clutching Naruto's diary and saying, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry." Makoto found her and convinced her to get out so she can change and when Naruto returns, be the mother she should have been. When she replaced her blood clone, she slowly started to separate herself from her family and announced that none of them were going to be the heir to the Uzumaki clan and that she would find a suitable heir. She saw her kids in their true form, greedy and self-loving bastards. She couldn't love Minato the way she did before after seeing him always badmouth her son. She hurt any villager that badmouthed her son. After a long time, Naruto's real family forgave her and told Naruto about her. His reply is yet to come. I was woken up by my brother shaking me. It's been 10 months since I left and I have gotten stronger. If you're wondering who my brother is, it's Gaara. Yep, I am currently in the Sand Village. Flashback 2 months. No one's pav. Tsunade, Jiraiya Orochimaru, Shizune, joined later as she wanted to be in the village for a while to see what they would do when they know Naruto's gone. Turns out, there was a celebration, and Naruto are currently in front of the Sand Village gates. They heard there is a Jinchuriki there that the village loves, so they thought Naruto may find friends in a village that loves him. The guards stopped them and when they were going to answer why they were here, a voice called out, "What's going on?" The guards paled and said, "Lord Casecage, these people are not from the village and want to enter." The 5-leaf nin, well 4 and an abandoned child, turned to face Rasa carrying a boy with red hair around Naruto's age and 2 kids next to him, a blonde girl with a huge fan and a brunette boy who look older than the red hair. The red hair stared at Naruto and a voice inside him said, "Kid, he may be a Jinchuriki, like you." Kurama told Naruto in his mind, "Kid, he has my brother in him." The one-tail raccoon dog, Shukaku. The red-haired boy came out of his father's carrying hands and walked forward. Naruto did the same. They stared at each other for a while till the red-haired said, "Mother told me you are the same as me." "Mother?" The one-tail. "Well then, I guess I am. The name's Naruto Senju Kitsune. I'm the Jinchuriki of the 9-tail fox, Kurama. Or better known as the Kyuubi. Gaara of the sand. I'm the Jinchuriki of the one-tail raccoon dog, Shukaku. What brings you all here? Don't you have a village to be in?" "We had one. Well, more like I had one." "What do you mean?" "Long story. Mother says that there is someone else in you." "Are you a Jinchuriki of 2? "Nope. Inside of me is also the 3rd Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Gigi, for short." "Nani? SS Sarutobi is alive? And in YOU?" Rasa said, yelled. "Yeah." Tsunade knew she needed to explain the reason why they are here and knew Naruto will be affected as he would remember a lot of bad memories. "Naruto, time to sleep," she said. The rest of the gang besides Naruto understood. "But how?" he replied cutely. Tsunade transferred some chakra into Naruto and he immediately fell asleep. Before he hit the ground, 2 men, one looking really old and one looking around 26 years old, poofed out of nowhere and the young man caught Naruto and placed him in his arms. Rasa recognized the older man and said, "Sarutobi? Been a while, old friend. Where did you come from?" "From Naruto's seal. He broke most of it off, so Kurama and I can come out anytime." "TT, that's the Kyuubi? Sup. The name's Kurama. Hello. No need to be afraid, old friend. He was controlled to attack the Leaf Village by Madara Uchiha." "Oh, why did you knock out Naruto?" "Because what we are about to tell you is his life story that isn't rosy at all. It's a nightmare that could kill a man. We rather not let my kid hear it or it'll resurface horrible memories we tried so hard to make him forget and move on." "Why, is it horrible?" "We'll tell you inside your house, old friend." "Guards, stand down. They are friends of mine." The gates opened and they went inside. Everyone sat in the dining room in the palace tower. Naruto was on Kurama's lap, sleeping. "Now, time to explain," Rasa said, ordered. Tsunade spoke. When Naruto was born, the Hokage, Minato Namikaze, was fighting Kurama. His wife, Kushina Namikaze Uzumaki, gave birth to beautiful triplets, 2 boys and a girl. Minato was about to seal Kurama in his eldest son when Sarutobi stepped in and did it, saying he should take care of his family. However, Kami decided to seal Sarutobi in Naruto because he felt Naruto will face hardships far greater than he should and he will need help. If you haven't guessed it, Naruto is the eldest of the triplets. His full name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. His siblings are Menma and Mito. Unfortunately, Minato and Kushina never took care of Naruto. He had to learn by himself. I had to teach him how to read and write. They completely neglected him and called him a demon. He met Sarutobi and Kurama when it was his first birthday, which was also his first beating from the village. He told his parents, who only punched him and told him that he was lying and called him a demon. When he was 4 years old, he was raped. But Orochimaru came before it got any worse. We had enough so we left, because we have Sannin rights we can leave the village whenever we want, and Minato was more than happy to get rid of the demon. We came here because we heard that there was a Jinchuriki here that was treated well and we thought Naruto may have a friend who knows his pain. Also, the reason he is Naruto Senju Kitsune is because Minato signed the adoption papers for me to take Naruto and later, Kurama gave him his last name, Kitsune, after giving him his bloodline. So he became Naruto Senju Kitsune. By the end of this, everyone was crying, even Gaara. He can stay here along with all of you. We will provide him a life he deserves. A happy life, Rasa said while trying not to cry. I'll treat him like a BB brother. He won't be lonely and sad. Gaara said. Since then, they lived and trained in Suna. Flashback no Jutsu Kai. Back to Naruto's POV. I went down to eat breakfast when Tsunade Ba-chan handed me a letter. It's from Auntie Makoto. It read, Dear Naruto, how are you, my boy? How's the Sand Village? Are people treating you well? Well, anyways, there's something you should know. Kushina found your diary and read it. After that, she locked herself up in your room and sent a blood clone to help around the house. This went on for a few months. She kept chanting stuff like, I'm sorry, or, I am a bad mother. She learned her mistake so I convinced her to go out of the room and start finding ways to make you trust her again. She also became a little distant with the rest after learning what they did to you. Are you going to forgive her? Well, I have to go now. Take care. I love you. Sincerely, Makoto Uchiha. She learned her mistake, huh? I don't think I can forgive her yet. Not so fast anyways. So I wrote, Dear Aunt Makoto. Hello Auntie. I am fine. The Sand Village is amazing. Everyone here is so nice to me even though I am a Jinchuriki. Gaara kinda became my older brother. Hehe. Anyways, I don't think I can forgive Lady Kushina that easily. It will take a lot of time, but I'm glad to know she realized her mistake. I have to go train now. I love you too and take care Auntie. Bye. Sincerely, Naruto Senju Kitsune. I gave the letter to Tsunade Obaa-chan and she sent it. No one's POV. It's been years since the 3 Sannin, ex-Hokage, the Kyuubi and Naruto moved into Suna. He is now 7, I think that's how old he was when the Uchiha massacre happened. He was eating breakfast with his family when a guard came in, Lord Casecage. Pardon my intrusion but there is a man outside the gates who wants to speak with Naruto-sama. He says his name is Itachi Uchiha. Should I permit entry? Yes. Bring him here immediately. Hi. The guard left and a few minutes later he brought Itachi. Naruto was happy to see his brother but saw his face and became worried. Itachi ni? Is everything okay? Naruto. Itachi told everyone about the Uchiha massacre and the truth behind it. The only survivors being Makoto, Fugaku and Sasuke since they had no idea about the coup d'état. Itachi told Makoto and Fugaku about it after the massacre but didn't tell Sasuke in fear of what he'll do. Naruto, I know this is too much to ask you but is it possible if you can go back to the village to look after Sasuke? Mom and Dad can protect him at home, but the council can take him into their hands when he's at school. I can trust no one but you. Everyone looked at Naruto, keen to learn his answer. Naruto looked worried but then said, I'll do it. I owe you, Auntie Makoto and Uncle Fugaku a lot. Besides, I'll get to meet everyone again. But I'll leave after the Chunin exams, he should be able to take care of himself then. Arigato, Naruto. Gaara came up to his brother and voiced out everyone's thoughts. Brother, are you sure? What if they hurt you? Yeah kid, don't do anything dangerous like that. Shukaku came out and said. Naruto smiled and said, "It's all right, brother and mother. I'll be fine. I am very strong. I have control over my Boringen and chakra chains. Not to mention I can do Bukajutsu and Fuinjutsu as well as medical ninjutsu very well. I have blue lightning, which is faster than that of the fourth Hokages. I can even summon the boss summons, and Manda Ne-chan will always come out if she feels I'm in danger. So don't worry." Everyone knew this was correct and was relieved. Suddenly, Naruto asked, "Itachi ni, where will you stay now?" "I don't have anywhere to stay. I am a wanted rouge ninja." Rasa interrupted, "He'll stay here. No one needs to know about this." "Are you sure?" "Yes. It's an order." "Arigato." Everyone started packing their clothes. They were going to leave today, using Naruto's blue lightning. Naruto sent out word to his family that Itachi visited him and told him the reason for the massacre, and also he was coming home using one of his summons. Needless to say, they immediately replied saying they were delighted that he was coming back. They packed their bags and said their goodbyes to everyone in the village. They went towards the gates. Naruto hugged his brother one last time and saw that Gaara was at the verge of tears. He looked at him and said, "Don't worry, Gaara ni. We'll meet each other during the Chunin exams. Once it's over, I'll come back with you." Gaara looked happy and said, "Goodbye, brother." Then, the Sanins, the ex-Hokage, the Kyuubi and the Kyuubi's Jinchuriki left using Naruto's blue lightning and reached in lesser than a minute. The guards looked at them and saw them approaching the village. Kurama and Jiji went back in Naruto's mind. There stood 4 figures, 3 of them known too well. The 4th an unknown figure approached them and said, "I'm Naruto Senju Kitsune and I have returned." The guards looked at the boy, and took a few minutes to realize what he said. One of them scowled and said, "What are you doing here, demon? Get lost." Before the Sanins could intervene, a figure approached them and said, "What brave soul said that about my Gaki? A.N. You know who, right?" The guards turned towards the voice and paled. They knew who this is and knew how this person reacts when people talk back about Naruto. One of them say, "Aaa and KK-ko." Anko glared at them. She knew she would get her answer, so she turned towards the Sanins, who said that. The Sanins, a bit afraid of her, immediately pointed to the guard. The said guard paled further, if that was even possible, and moved a bit backwards. Unfortunately, Anko grabbed his shoulder and said, "Well, if you think you're in trouble with me, then guess again. You want to see a real demon? I'll take you to him. Ibiki will have a fun time with you. After all, you did disrespect someone he calls family." With that, she shined with him to Ibiki, dropped him, and came back. "Come on, Gaki. But first, we had to go meet him," she said with anger in the end. Naruto nodded and they shinned to the Hokage office. The Sanins and Ankh looked at Naruto, who was very nervous. They entered the building and approached the door. "Ready, Naruto?" Anko asked. Naruto nodded, knowing his voice may crack. Anko hummed and immediately kicked the door open. When the door flung, they saw the Hokage, Kushina, Mito and Menma. Kushina saw and immediately recognized her son and smiled at him. "Hello, Naruto," she says. The rest took a few minutes to realize who he was. He changed a lot since they last saw him, so they were surprised. Minato scowled and says, "What are you doing here, demon?" He realized who was with him and paled a bit, but that didn't stop him. "Why aren't you dead yet?" he said. Mito joined in and said, "Get lost. No demon is welcomed here." Menma said, "Ya, now go." But he was really thinking, "Damn, he's got a nice body. A.N. Yaoi. But not a pairing, I think." Kushina glared at the 3 and was about to say something but was cut off by Tsunade. "He's here cuz he is a part of Konoha and he will be going to the academy," Tsunade said. "He will also stay with USSS," Orochi said. "And if you don't allow this, you know what will happen," Jiraiya added. Minato knew better than to make those 3 mad. He sighed and approved, and they all, including Kushina, left while the 3 burned in hatred. Well, 2. One was still thinking about his stunning body, that the demon arrived. Danzo saw this whole thing and came out, along with a certain Inu not in Anbu mode. Danzo knew better than to think he was a demon and wanted to train him to be very strong so he can fend off the villagers' hatred, but couldn't as he learned he left. Kaka Baka stood in front of the fuming 3. Kaka spoke, "If I were you I wouldn't try to harm him. There are several people who love Naruto here and would risk their lives for his, including me, Lord Hokage." Kaka butt in. He shunshined away to meet Naruto. Meanwhile, the fourth Hokage couldn't help but be sad at the fact that his student no longer respected him as an individual but only showed respect cause he's the Hokage. With Naruto was with the Sanins, Lady Kushina and Anko, getting ready to meet the rest of his family. They decided to meet at a dango shop. Kaka shunshined in front of them, only to be pounced on by Naruto, who was currently hugging him so tight he was literally choking the living daylights out of him. After a few minutes, Naruto let go of him. Kakashi carried Naruto on his shoulders as they made their way to the shop. He met his family and they partied the whole day. They slept early cause Naruto began school tomorrow. Time skip brought to you by Chibi Zarif to next morning. Naruto got up early and went to change. He is currently living with the Sanins. Naruto wasn't used to Kushina but was slowly but surely warming up to her. She used to send him letters when he was in Suna. He missed his brother and his mother, so he wrote to them and asked one of his fox summons to deliver it. It basically said what happened that day and asked if they were all right and when Shizune would return. Naruto got ready and changed into this. Minus the daggers. He sealed his weapons, that he got for his birthday, in him except for the dagger. He placed it in his kunai pouch and wrapped it around his right leg. He made breakfast for all and the Sanins woke up in time to eat with him. Orochi took Naruto to school and dropped him off. They received glares as everyone heard the demon came back. Naruto couldn't care less but Orochi glared back at everyone. Sigh, I wish I made Orochimaru Hokage. No point beating yourself up, old man. Naruto chuckled. Orochimaru saw this and asked, what's wrong? Are they fighting again? No. Gigi is beating himself up at the fact that he should have made you Hokage. Tell him not to worry. I would have wanted it before but now all I can say is it's too much work for me to do. Don't become a Nara on me. Gasps never. They four laugh. They reached in the building and Orochi bid Naru farewell. Naruto took a deep breath and entered. He was greeted by Iruka who smiled at him. Welcome, Naruto, right? Please introduce yourself. To say Naruto was shocked was an understatement. His teacher is kind to him. He is nice to him. He knows the difference between a fake and real kindness but his teacher is actually kind to him. Judging by his age, he should know who he is. So why is he kind? Naruto looked at the class, girls gasping at how beautiful he is, and said, the name's Naruto Senju Kitsune. Nice to meet all of you. Welcome Naruto. I am Iruka-sensei. I hope we get along. Sit next Sasuke please. Sasuke, raise your hand. Sasuke complied but Naruto already knew it was him since he looks like Itachi, except younger and with duck butt hair. Naruto walked towards him while receiving glares from Mito and glances from Menma, who still couldn't get at how his so-called demon brother had such a perfect body. Naruto sat next to Sasuke and was actually in the middle. Shikamaru was next to him. Naruto thought, his laziness, gotta be a Nara. No doubt about it, Kit. Sigh, this is gonna be a long time. Naruto's pav. Sigh, damn, this school is annoying. Every teacher except Iruka-sensei hates my guts. Definitely Kyuubi haters. Makes you think if he has Kyuubi lovers? Well, aren't you a part of my fans? Where did you get that idea? My Naruto. Why did you change so much? I miss the innocent you that kept going, Kurama ni, and said stuff like, we'll be together forever. And also, I want to marry only you Kurama ni. Now old friend, calm down. Okay, first of all I never said I would marry you. Where the hell did you get that idea? Secondly, I still call you Kurama ni. I just call you furball and lazy ass more. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to hear someone really powerful cry? Well, look no further because there is a lazy as furball, aka Kurama ni, in my head crying while Gigi is trying to comfort him. Naruto, Shikamaru whispered. I come back mentally to the classroom and look at Shikamaru. What's up? I ask. Troublesome blonde. Class started and you spaced out. Don't want to get into trouble, right? Thanks. Thankfully, class ended just then. Yay, I got up to go to my friends and mine lunch spot near the cherry blossom tree. My friends included Shikamaru, Sasuke, Kiba and Akamaru, Shino, Choji, Sai. We were about to leave together when a stuck-up bitch named Mito decided to open her crappy mouth. How can you guys go near him? He's nothing but a monster. Don't you want to hang out with us, the children of the Hokage? I could hear Kiba and Akamaru growl. Normally, they are talkative and very annoying. But from what I've learnt these past 3 months of being here, they will defend their friends no matter what. Same with the rest, except the talkative part. Why did you call him a monster? He's just a soon-to-be ninja like the rest of us, and my friend. Kiba said. It's not polite to call someone a monster without getting to know them. I have been with him for a while and I can truly say he is not a monster. Sai said with expression. Sai doesn't usually show any true expression. Is the world gonna end? It's troublesome the way you say he's a monster. Shikamaru said, with anger in his voice. The rest just nodded their heads and we left a fuming Mito and a confused Menma. Time skip after school. Naruto's POV. Uncle Orochi said he'll pick me up today and take me for sparring and then ramen. I can't wait. I'm with my group of friends when Uncle Orochi comes to take me. I wave at them as I run towards Uncle Orochi and they wave back. Let's go, I said. Shikaku's POV. Troublesome wife making me go pick up our son from school. Sigh. I see my son with a group of people. I recognize them as Choji, Sasuke, Shino, Sai, Kiba and his dog Akamaru. There's also a blonde kid among them. I heard his name was Naruto? Wait, isn't Naruto Minato and Kushin's eldest son of the triplets, and the Kyuubi's container? I heard he left with the 3 Sannin. I remember going around the village the next day with my wife and people were celebrating that he left. I also heard that they tortured him. I had to manipulate her shadow so she wouldn't go around killing people. What shocked me the most is that Minato and his family were happy he left. Later, Kushina realized her mistake. I hate his family now, well except for Kushina. Poor kid. I walk up to my son and asked, who is that? Naruto Senju Kitsune. So he changed his name. Good. Senju, he must have gotten from Tsunade but Kitsune? Could it be from the Kyuubi? So, they could have met already. Why dad? He asks. Just wondering. Are you going to make us stay away from him too? Choji asked. What? We heard parents telling them to stay away from Naruto. Shino replied to my question. I was beyond shocked. Why would they do that? I grew angry but calmed down. No, I won't force you to do that. In fact, I want you to hang out with him more. The reason the villagers are like this is because they blame him for something he couldn't control. He's harmless. What's he blamed for? Sasuke asked. Wow, never thought I'd see an Uchiha speak without being forced to. I can't say but just know it's not his fault. He'll tell you when he's ready, be patient. They all replied by nodding their heads and I took my son and went home. Yoshino would want to hear this. She's been beating herself up about not realizing Naruto's suffering sooner. Shikamaru, Sasuke, Shino, Sai, Choji and Kiba's heads. What did he mean? What is Naruto blamed for? Naruto's POV. It's been 5 months since I came back to my personal hell. The villagers try to beat me up like they used to but I'm too fast for them. I'm faster than the Hokage. I've forgiven Lady Mom already. Exactly 2 weeks ago when I said, I forgive you, Mom. She started crying and hugging me and squealing because I called her Mom. It's still new to me though. The Anbu in the village love me. So does a guy named Danzo. They spoil me to no end when they get the chance. When I'm sad, they bring me huge teddy bears. When I'm happy, they take me for ramen. When I feel like shopping and they see me, they buy me more kimonos and many other stuff. I guess it's their way of apologizing to me. I forgive the Anbu and Danzo. Best part, everyone that loves me hates my birth family except for Mom. I've become closer to my friends. They tell me their troubles and I help them. I finally managed to make Sasuke say more than HN, and Shikamaru to say more than troublesome. Uncle Danzo made me an Anbu in his Black Ops. I'm known as Kitsune, and my mask is that of a fox. It's not as people say, they show emotions and are helpful. They're like a family and they allowed me in. I was surprised to see Sai there but apparently Danzo made him go undercover for the same reason that I came here, to protect Sasuke Uchiha from Konoha's council. Despite what people say, I don't give out my trust to just anyone. I can see if they're honest through their eyes. Eyes tell the truth, that's how it's always been. I look into their eyes to see if they're evil or good. Few villagers tried to get close to me but I quickly realized that they wanted to torture me more through their eyes. So I just politely rejected them. If I had it my way I would torture them but sadly I don't. If I did then the Hokage and civilian council will use that as an excuse to either kill me, throw me in jail or banish me from Konoha. During my free time, I pay a visit to the TI force as they let me torture few people for information since I'm the most reliable. They're all elite Chunin, so at first I didn't want to go but they welcomed me. They are also like my family and they all hate my biological family except for mom. I said it without any problems. Speaking of the Hokage and his family, mom lives with us instead of them, which seems to have deepened their hatred towards me. Well, most of them. I keep seeing Menma giving me glances every now and then. I don't think he hates me but I don't think he likes me either. I don't know. My friends have been curious about why I'm hated and all I say is, all in due time, to them. I wanted to get to know them properly first and let them get to know me without knowing my background. So since that's accomplished, I decided that today is the day I tell them my secret. Cammy, help me. I am currently going towards Training Ground 7. We meet there as I train them over there. They're, apart from my real family, not the shitty biological one, the only ones who knows about me being the best Anbu, the Kitsune. They also know about my summons, so Manda-chan sometimes comes out. She's taken an interest in Sasuke. I think she may give him the summoning scroll if he loses his pride. Yes, he still has some of it left, sigh. As I got closer and closer, I could see them all. They looked at me seriously and Sasuke said, "Naruto, we want answers today." Everyone nodded. I sighed and said, "And answers you shall get. By the way, because I knew I was going to explain to them about Kurama ni, I wore this kimono for this occasion." Everyone sat, so I started to tell my tale. You all know about what happened 7 years ago on October 10th? They nodded. Well then, do you know what happened to the nine-tailed fox? The third Hokage killed him by sacrificing himself, right? Shino said. No, that's not what happened. The bijus are made out of chakra and you cannot kill chakra. So, Lord Third, or Gigi as I like to call him, gave up his life to seal the nine-tailed fox inside the eldest of the Hokage's children. That baby was me. Everyone was shocked and so Shikamaru spoke up. So, you're the Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed fox? Yes, but that's not all. When the third Hokage passed on, he met Kami who sealed him inside of me because he felt that I will be going through a lot. So I have the Kyuubi, or Kurama since that's his name, and Gigi in me. Because of Kurama ni sealed in me, my parents and siblings neglected me. I was beaten, tortured, and even burnt because of it. My family, that time being the three Sanin, Kakashi ni, Anko ne, Ibiki ni, Shizune ne, Uncle Fugaku, Auntie Makoto and Itachi ni. Sasuke looked very shocked. Also, Kurama didn't attack the village by will, he was forced to by Madara Uchiha. One day they took it too far and raped me. I escaped into my mindscape where Kurama ni and Gigi were comfort me. Uncle Orochimaru saved me just before they went extreme and so they thought it was best if I left. I got my documents signed, one for leaving and one for no longer being a part of Namikaze Uzumaki family. You already know about my training and how I got Senju as a last name. I got Kitsune as a last name by Kurama ni, who also performed the blood link ceremony, thus turning me into a half fox and half human. I have 9 tails, like Kurama. The reason I returned to this hellhole is because Itachi ni asked me to look after you. Sasuke managed to ask, why does he care? He hates me and I hate him? I sighed, no, he doesn't hate you. He wouldn't ask me to return to look after you. He loves you dearly. I know why he slaughtered your clan, but it's best if you ask him. Although, for your own safety, make everyone believe that you had him. He didn't tell you the reason before because he feared that the village will kill you. After 5 minutes, everyone seemed to register what I said. Their faces immediately changed to anger. Choji stopped eating? Kiba spoke, those bastards. They tried to rape you. They raped an innocent boy. Everyone started to throw insults at the village's stupidity and I just cried. They looked at me and Shikamaru came closer to me. He wiped my tears and cupped my cheeks and said, what's wrong, Naru? I am just sniff happy you don't hate me, sniff asterisk. We will never hate you. Promise. Everyone nodded. I fixed myself and asked, so, you guys want to meet the Kyuubi, aka Kurama and the supposedly dead third Hokage? They all nodded. I chuckled at their faces and summoned them. Everyone looked shocked. Kurama came out in his human fox form. About time you summon us, Kit. Now old friend. Patience is a virtue. Shut up, old man. I'm not old. Yeah, and I'm not a fox. Face it, if it weren't for being sealed in Naruto, you would be decaying. Everyone laughed at their antics and they started chatting together. They all got along very well. Anko Ne, Auntie Tsunade, Uncle Jiraiya and Uncle Orochi joined us. I ended up showing them my fox human self and they loved it, saying I look very pretty. I knew they thought I looked girly but I let it slide. Today was the best day ever. At Anbu Black Ops headquarters. No one's pav. Danzo approached Naruto as he sat in the lounge with his mask behind his head. Naruto was talking with Sai and the rest of the team. Danzo, Naruto, we have reason to believe that Mizuki is going to become a traitor. He will probably act tomorrow, the day of your graduation. What do you propose? Naruto thought for a while till he grinned like a fox. I have an idea. Mizuki hates me so he'll try to make me fail. I won't. He'll try to steal a scroll tomorrow and will probably end up in the forest of death. Sai and I will be waiting for him. We'll torture him till he can't walk. We'll send him to Uncle Ibiki then. Good idea, Sai said. Day of the graduation. No one's pav. Naru-chan. It's time to wake up and get dressed. It's a big day. Kushina yelled while making breakfast. This made everyone, Orochi, Pervy Sage and Grandma too, wake up. Kushina asked Orochi to cook in her place while she and Tsunade go and find a kimono for Naruto to wear. They took 20 minutes to decide while Naruto was having a bath. They chose this. Naruto got ready and ate his breakfast. Manda-chan came out to be with him in her smaller snake version. All of them accompanied Naruto to the school. Throughout the journey everyone was whispering bad things about the demon, and some attempted to throw rocks at him, despite the three Sanins and Kushina being there, but were quickly dealt with. On the way, Naruto spotted Pineapple Head. Naruto brightened. He always dealt so at ease with that one but didn't know why. Hey Shika, Naruto yelled. Said boy turned around to see the most beautiful boy he has ever seen. He looked closely to see the short length and his beautiful skin. God, that skin. Shikamaru blushed and tried to hide it but that didn't go unnoticed by everyone but Naruto. Naruto ran to him and hugged him. He only then noticed Shikame and Yoshino. Hello, Shikaku-san, Yoshino-san. Hello Naruto, they replied. Those three got along well. Shikaku and Yoshino knew very well that their boy loved Naruto and supported it throughout. They told that to Shikamaru and he tried to say he didn't feel like that. Keyword. Tried. Naruto and the gang, with a still blushing Shikamaru, entered the academy. They sat together along with Sasuke. Suddenly the ground moved like there was a stampede. It came closer and closer till three figures popped up. Ino, Sakura and Mito. The three screeching banshees of the school. Ino was kinda tolerable. Kinda. But the other two, everyone hated them. No joke. I was here first Ino pig and bratty girl. Nah I was here first forehead. Shut up. I am the child of the Hokage and I say that I reached first. Everyone thought, what does being the child of the Hokage got anything to do with this? The three ran to where their Sasuke is and saw it was occupied by a Nara and a demon. Get lost Naruto and Shikamaru. Sakura said. Ino didn't have a problem with Naruto and Shikamaru, so she went to another seat. By the orders of the Hokage's daughter, I order you to move demon. Naruto looked at her and said, no. How dare you defile me you scum. I just did. I'll have you executed. By what charge? Shut up demon. Move. How about asking Sasuke? Sasuke, who do you want next to you? Those girls or us? Naruto and Shikamaru. Sasuke replied. How dare you control him demon? You can't make accusations without any proof. Shikamaru snapped. Iruka came in and made them settle down. Mizuki came in, glaring at Naruto. They handed test papers to everyone and Naruto finished first with full marks. Next was Kunai and shuriken throwing. Kunai first. Sasuke 8/10, 9/10. Sai 10 out of 10, 9/10. Shikamaru 7/10, 8/10. Kiba 7/10, 7/10. Choji 6/10, 7/10. Shino 8/10, 8/10. Menma 7/10, 8/10. Mito 6/10, 6/10. Sakura 5/10, 5/10. Ino 7/10, 8/10. Hinata 9/10, 9/10. Lastly, Naruto 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. What? How did I get lower than that demon? He must be cheating. By the orders of the Hokage's daughter, remove him. No, can't do Mito. He didn't cheat. Iruka said. Little did they know that their parents are seeing everything. Every clan leader, except Minato, is disgusted and disappointed at Mito. They all, except Minato, respect Naruto. Menma came closer to Naruto and walked past him whispering, "Good job." Menma thought, damn, he's amazing. I bet if he is in a relationship he'll be the Uke. He'll be such a good little Uke. That fine ass, and no doubt that. Well, you know what I'm talking about. I want to touch him. I want him to beg me to continue. I want to enter in him. Pound in him. I want to kiss him. Ah, that'll be the day. Crap, I'm thinking pervy stuff about Naruto again. Now, the taijutsu. All of Naruto's friends passed. Naruto was against Mito and beat her easily. Minato was furious while Kushina cheered. Finally, the last test. Everyone passed and Naruto got a blue Hita-ite. Mizuki was beyond and Naruto knew it. Forest of Death. 8 p.m. No one's pav. Mizuki has just stolen the scroll and was heading out of the Forest of Death when he met his student, Naruto. Mizuki-sensei, what are you doing here? None of your concern, demon. Go die. Could it be? You are stealing a scroll. Cat got your tongue? Mizuki charged at Naruto with a kunai and Naruto immediately pinned him to the tree. That's not nice. And I wanted to have a little fun, Naruto said seductively. It seemed to work. I'll have fun with you too then, Mizuki replied. Mind if a friend joined? It's better to have 3 than 2 inches. Sure, come out Sai. Sai came out. He looked at Mizuki and approached him. He quickly took a kunai and pinned his hands on the tree. Mizuki screamed in pain. Through the night, till 10, Naruto and Sai had their fun in Mizuki's expense. You could hear Mizuki's screams throughout the forest. Once they were done, they sent him to Ibiki where more fun awaits him. Naruto went back home and was greeted by a worried Kushina. Where were you? Dealing with the traitorous Mizuki. Don't scare me like that next time. I won't, Mom. Naruto's pav. Today is the day we get into our genin teams. To be honest, I really wish I never had to do this. I mean, come on. I'm way stronger than any Anbu and definitely stronger than Minato. Damn, this is so troublesome. Great, I'm becoming a Nara. Like Shikamaru. At the thought of Shikamaru, I started to blush. Immensely. I could hear Gigi and Kurama laughing inside of me. Okay, I admit it. Naruto Senju Kitsune am in love with Shikamaru Nara. You'd think I'd fall for Sasuke cause I'm protecting him, but no. Well, Shikamaru is more my type. I haven't confessed yet and I don't know if he likes me. I go down depressed sigh. It seems like Mom is the only on here. She approaches me and asks, what's wrong, sweetie? I just don't want to be here in this village for long. I want to leave quickly but I don't want to leave you all. I also don't know if I should confess to Shikamaru. Mom suddenly smiled and rubbed my hair. Don't worry, sweetie, things will get better. And if you like Shikamaru, then go get him before someone snatches him from you. No one is gonna take Shika from me. Atta boy, I suggest inviting him over tonight and ask him out. Alright, thanks Mom. I gave her my oh so famous grin. After breakfast, we all, me, Uncle Orochi and Kushina, headed out. I could sense a mob approaching. I signaled them to leave while I go to an ally. When I reach the ally, I turn around to face many angry civilians and some shinobis. It is time to die, demon. I'm not the demon. You are, for torturing a young boy. Yes, you are. They started to throw their weapons at me but they didn't predict what was gonna happen next. My Boringen activated automatically. It condensed the air around me to turn into a water shield. They were all surprised as I didn't do any hand signs or scream out my jutsu name before it got activated. What surprised them even more was my eyes. They changed to the Boringen form. I could feel Anbu Chakra's signatures come this way and couldn't help but smirk. All the ANBUS are very protective of me, and torture people who try to hurt me. Then, 5 ANBUS jumped down and stood in front of me. They knocked out the crowd and took them to Ibiki, not before torture them a bit. They asked me if I was alright and I just told them I was fine. I shunshined to the school and saw Uncle Orochi and Mom there. We said our goodbyes and I went to the classroom. I entered, only to see Ruka-sensei there. He came forward and ruffled my hair. Good morning. Good morning. He treats me nice and is like my father. I really respect him. He also knows about Kurama and Gigi. I sit at the back and wait for everyone to enter. Shikamaru was the first to enter. He sat beside me while I blushed at what I was gonna ask. Shika, can you come over to my place tonight? Sure, Naru. I blushed at my nickname and how he said it. We waited for us to be put in teams. Team 7 Naruto Senju Kitsune, Sasuke Uchiha and Sai. Team 8 Kiba Inuzuka, Hinata Hyuga and Shino Aburame. Team 9 still there. Team 10 Ino Yamanaka, Shikamaru Nara and Choji Akamichi. Team 11 Menma Namikaze Uzumaki, Mito Namikaze Uzumaki and Sakura Haruno. Please wait for the team leaders. No one's POV. Sasuke, Sai and Naruto were very happy to be on a team. Although, Naruto wished he would be with Shikamaru but knew it was impossible as they wanted to create a second-generation Ino Shika Cho team. They waited for 2 hours and realized who their sensei is. Suddenly, a poof was heard and they saw Kakashi. Sorry I'm late. Let's meet on the roof for fresh air. All four shunshined to the roof, as Naruto thought the two how to. Well, let's start with the introductions. The name's Kakashi Hatake. My likes are training, a certain dolphin, Naruto, Naruto's friends and Icha Paradise. My dislikes are traitors, those who abandon their friends and this who are mean to Naruto. My hobbies are training and reading Icha Paradise. My dream is to help Naruto. Next up is Duck Butt. Please don't call me that. Naruto calls me that a lot. Well, I'm Sasuke Uchiha. My likes are training, my two brothers, Naruto and Itachi, and my friends. I hate those who can't tell the difference between a kunai and a scroll it's kept in. My hobbies are training and playing with my friends. My dream is to find Itachi ni and get answers, and to help Naruto. Sai here. I like Anbu root, my friends, Naruto, and training. I dislike the same thing as Sasuke. My hobbies are training and going on missions with Naruto. My dream is to help Naruto. Ah, I like you all so much. Anyways, I'm Naruto Senju Kitsune, Datbeo. I like training, my real family, my friends the ANBUS and a certain pineapple head. My dislikes are the same as all of you. My hobbies are training, going on missions, and playing. My dream is to go away from here and build a village that will never become corrupt. That's all great. Since I know your teamwork and tested you all before, I can say you all pass. Let's meet in 2 days for our first mission. That night in Naruto's house. Naru, Shikamaru is here. I'm sending him to your room. Kushina shouted. Shikamaru entered Naruto's room. He saw Naruto on the bed blushing. What's up? Shikamaru asked. I was wondering, Shika, will you be my boyfriend? Shikamaru was so shocked. He planned on confessing tonight. Yes, 1,000 times yes. Shikamaru hugged the blonde and the two went to sleep, cuddled with each other. After few weeks of D-rank missions. Hokage-sama, my team is ready for a higher mission, Kakashi said as Naruto gracefully returned the demon cat to the daimyo. Well, if you say so. Anbu, bring Tazuna and Team 11 in. A few short minutes passed as the team and Tazuna entered. Minato asked continued, your job is to join teams and protect him. Fear not as this is a C-rank mission. Tazuna looked at the kids, they're assigned to protect me? Some redhead fangirl, a weak-looking pinky and a black-haired idiot? I'm fine with just the other team. Team 11 was beyond pissed. They were about to attack when they were held off by their sensei, Ebisu. You don't attack your employees, idiots. Team 7 tried to suppress their laugh at the sight. Tazuna began introducing himself, although one of you know me, I'll still introduce myself. I am the super bridge builder Tazuna and I expect you to guard me with your life. With our life? This is just a C-rank mission? Unless. Team 7 thought. Kakashi, who was able to control his laughter, spoke first, alright. Team 7 and 11, meet me tomorrow at the front gate at 8 AM sharp. Everyone left to their own homes. Naruto entered his home to find his love inside, drinking coffee with Anko. Shikamaru saw Naruto and said, Hey Naru. How was your mission? Fine I guess. Tora was easy to catch but it was hard for me to give her back. If she escapes again, I won't let her go without giving the fire daimyo a proper talk. Also, the Hokage had my team pair up with that team to go to the land of waves. He probably paired us up in order to make me see how much better they are than me. Ebisu turned out to be their team leader. I don't really mind him, and he doesn't mind me either. I sense no malice from him. Also, it's probably an A- ranked mission that the oh-so-great Hokage hadn't realized. Everyone in my team, Kurama and Gigi included, noticed. Also, the employee is Tazuna. Met him during my travels and befriended him and his family. That seems troublesome. Gotta agree with you this time. Let's go up now. Time for bed. I'm staying over. You know what that means. I blushed at his comment and followed him up. Kurama and Gigi came out saying they didn't want to interfere. In Naru's room, once they entered, Shikamaru locked the door and pushed Naruto on the bed. He started to kiss him deeply till Naruto felt too weak to move. Shikamaru pulled down the blonde's shirt on the side to expose his neck. He started to suck to search for his spot. Ah, he found it. He sucked harder and harder till it formed a hickey to show that Naruto belonged to him. Shikamaru laid down next to Naruto and said, "Good night, Naru," before falling asleep. Naruto sighed. Since they started dating, Shikamaru never did it with him. He knew how much Shikamaru loved him and wanted to do it, so it boggled him to no end. I'll have to talk to him about this after the mission. Troublesome, Naruto thought before he slept off. The next day, Naruto and his team, including Kakashi who came early, waited with Tazuna and Ebisu for the rest to arrive. They were late. Ebisu was talking to Naruto about which food was better, dango or ramen. Turns out, Ebisu loved dangos as much as Naruto loves ramen, and that's saying something. The team came together an hour later. An hour? Why are you late? Ebisu asked, anger clearly visible in his tone. Well, Menma was waiting for me while I was putting on makeup and doing my hair. Sakura came over and we did each other's nails. Time flew by and we didn't realize it was late. I forgot that mom wasn't there and dad's busy being awesome, so we arrived late. Mito said casually. Oh really? And what did you pack in your bags? Ebisu asked, trying to control his ki. Same with the rest. I packed some clothes and weapons. Menma said. I packed all my favorite clothes that screamed, I'm a boss, as which I am. Also, I put my nail polish and nail cutter kit in, just in case I break a nail or worse, the color chips. I put my hair dryer and some new perfumes that are super expensive, but only I have. I also put in few shurikens and kunais. Mito said. Same here, Sakura said. By now, Ebisu gave up and released his ki. Both the girls fell down. Listen here. This is a mission. The next time this happens, we're leaving you behind. Mito retorted, but I'm the child of Hokage. You can't do that to me. Watch him did then. Kakashi butted in. After that, they left and headed towards the wave. Tazuna walked in the middle. Sasuke and Naruto were at the back while Sai and Menma were in front. Mito and Sakura were next to the clients, while their senseis were walking in front to lead the way and clear the path for any upcoming danger. Too bad for Mito and Sakura, as they didn't realize that the positions given to them were for the weakest members. It was perfect for them. So how's your family, Tazuna? Naruto asked. The Gaki, as you love to call him, has been doing fine. He hasn't been the same since Kaiza died, but he always believed you'll come to help him. Due to that belief, he pulls himself up and helps around whenever he can. Tsunami has been well too. She still has her smiles. That's nice to hear. Don't worry, Inari will be fine. As soon as he sees his big brother, he'll be pouncing on you. Be careful, he's gotten stronger. Oh boy. Ha 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 ha. The rest of the team looked weirdly at the duo until Sasuke asked, Naruto, how do you know him? Met him while I was out traveling. Stayed with him for a while too. That's nice. Sai said and Sasuke nodded in agreement. Kakashi's eyes smiled through this whole thing, implying he knew from the beginning. Team 7 and Ebisu noticed a puddle there and realized who it was. Naruto sunk in the shadows with a smirk just before two figures popped up and killed both the senseis. Sakura and Mito were in shock and screamed, Sensei! Like there is no tomorrow. Sai, Menma and Sasuke got into fighting positions while protecting Tazuna. They didn't fear or freeze up when the demon brothers charged at them. They fended them off using their unusual teamwork. Stop this at once. I order you to, as the daughter of the Hokage. Mito said. The demon brother froze at the word Hokage and turned to face Mito with deadly glares. So you're the one that hurt Naruto-sama? Gozu said. What should we do, Aniki? Maizu asked childishly. I would love to kill her, but that's being too lenient. Gozu replied. Fear and panic set in Mito and Sakura's faces while everyone else face-palmed. That's enough, Naruto spoke while he came out of the shadows. Naruto-sama, you're here? Why are you with Konoha? Mizu asked. Well, Ni-san sent me for a mission back here. Naruto replied. Gozu and Mizu understood what he meant. He called two people Ni-san, one was Kakashi while the other was Itachi. They heard about the massacre and knew Itachi was innocent. They nodded at him. Gozu and Mizu, go to where Ni-san is and stay there. I'll see ya soon, he said, telling them in code that his mission will be finishing shortly. Okay, the two said and disappeared. Kakashi and Ebisu came out, surprising Mito and Sakura. They looked at the two girls in disappointment. Tazuna listened to their, Naruto and the Demon Brothers, conversations and understood Naruto's objective. If Itachi asked Naruto to come here, it only meant one thing: protect his brother, Sasuke Uchiha. They headed on and reached the lake. Team 11 and Kakashi, along with Tazuna, entered the boat while the three boys said they'll walk it there. Demon, do not try to act as cool as Sasuke-sama here, Mito said. Sasuke scoffed at them and walked on water, mesmerizing Team 11. Naruto is the one who taught me how to do this. Sai came onto the water while nodding at Sasuke's statement in agreement. Naruto came in and said, last one there is the loser, while running. Sai and Sasuke followed while Menma looked at that in awe. As they reached and walked ahead, Mito threw a kunai in the bushes while it started to move. The creature came out to reveal itself to be a snow rabbit? Realizing what is happening, the senseis yelled to duck and everyone did, except for Naruto. Naruto stood there and laughed. That's not a duck. That's Sasuke's hair. A sword came towards Naruto but he caught it at ease. Don't you agree? He said. Mumuchi? Team 11 stared as a man with bandages wrapped around most of his face jumped down to great Naruto. He looked at Naruto straight in the eye and then turned to Sasuke. You're right, he grinned, it does look like a duck. Duck butt. Sasuke growled in anger. Been a while Naruto. Quote, so it has. How are you and Haku? Same as before. Which reminds me, Haku come down. Immediately, a young person came down from the trees wearing a hunter nin mask. He looked at his father figure and then the rest. When his eyes landed on Naruto, he removed his mask and jumped on Naruto, practically hugging him to death. Naru, he said happily. Haku can't be breathe. Naruto struggled to say. Hakuna let go and started to chat, forgetting that he came with others. Where have you been? Why are you with Konoha scum? Quote, I am in Konoha because of Ni-san. He asked me to come to protect him. Naruto said, secretly pointing at Sasuke. I see. Have they been causing you trouble? Quote, more than they're worth. Stop talking with the enemy demon, Mito screamed. That one word stopped their conversation and made their enemies look at them. No, not look, but glared. They glared so hard that Mito fell on her knees. Have your parents taught you no manners? Do you have no shame at the fact that you called a boy no older than you a demon? Haku said bitterly. He's a demon because Dad said he is. Dad is the Hokage so he's always right. Mito retorted. At the mention of Hokage, the two released their ki. So, you're one of the children of that asshole. Where's the other? Me, Menma said, with no pride present. Just as is. Zabuza looked at Menma and looked back at Naruto. Him? Did he learn his lesson? Quote, don't know, he hasn't irritated me at all since I came back. Zabuza nodded and faced to Mito only. Shame you look like your mom. She learned her lesson and is pretty nice. You however, are just trash. Tell this to your father, mess with Naruto and you'll find yourself in a tight spot you can't Hioshin out of. Also, Hiruzen was better than your father, he should have survived not your father. Mito trembled at his words and couldn't even retort. Tazuna looked at Zabuza and said, been a while. You here to take me? Quote, was. I wouldn't have accepted if I knew it was you. Quote, what are you planning to do? Quote, stay with you of course. I'm not leaving Naruto alone with those girls. And so their journey began with Zabuza and Haku along with them. The second Inari saw his older brother at his doorstep, he knew everything was going to be alright. He ran to his older brother in full speed and tackled him to the ground. Sobbing, he kept whispering how glad he was to see Ni-san. Only the two idiotic girls didn't know what was happening. After about 5 minutes, Kakashi had to separate them. Is he Inu? Inari asked, looking at Kakashi. Yep, how does he know me? Quote, told him about everyone in my family when I came here. Oh. Quote, Inari looked at Sasuke and said, he looks like the other Ni-san. He's the younger brother. Quote. Feeling ignored, Mito said, why care about what that demon says when the child of the Hokage is right in front of you? Quote. Everyone stopped. That one word was used on the person least like a demon. That one word they all hated. Mito felt something graze her cheek. Before she realized it, she was punched so hard she fell to the ground. The punch was delivered by none other than Menma. Can't you keep that dirty mouth of yours shut? How are you my sister? Quote. He looked at everyone and said, sorry about her stupidity. She's a slow learner. Menma bowed down and left towards the grassy field. Everyone froze. They did not expect that. Meanwhile, with Menma laid down on a field of grass. Did you mean what you said? Or are you lying? A gentle yet cautious voice asked him from behind. He didn't need to look back to know who it was. I did mean what I said. I did horrible things to Naruto and I know he'll never forgive me. Heck, I can't forgive myself. The mysterious person sat down next to him. I don't think I properly introduced myself. I'm Haku. Menma. Not gonna use your last name. Use the last name of the person who made me see my brother as a demon. Nah, not interested. You still think of him as your brother? I do. But, he probably doesn't. Can't blame him. What made you change your mind about your brother? I think it was when he left and my mother started supporting him. She said she couldn't believe that we all treated him badly and tried to convince us he isn't a demon. I had a feeling she was right but never said anything. I started to doubt it. Was my brother really a demon? The more I thought about it, the more I realized I knew nothing about him. I called him a demon without knowing how he was. Though, I still couldn't shake off the voice in my head saying he was a demon. When he came back, I sorta got attracted to him. Not the brotherly way, but as I tried to get closer, the more I realized it was impossible to. After a while he started going out with Shikamaru. I was upset but understood. I let go of my feelings but it was pretty hard. You could have summarized it. Quote. You didn't ask me to. The two looked at each other and laughed. After a while, Haku laid down next to Menma. I don't think it's disgusting. What? Menma asked, confused. The fact you were, and possibly still are, attracted to your brother in that way. Who wouldn't be? It's Naruto we are talking about. Many find that disgusting but I don't. Besides, you didn't become a yandere when he got a boyfriend so that's a good thing. Menma smiled. He too felt it was disgusting but never said anything about it. Haku knew what he felt. Thanks Haku. Quote. I'll help you find a new love if you want. Much appreciated. The two laughed again and looked at the sky. By the way, I'm a boy. Quote. 5 hours. Haku and Menma were outside for 5 bloody hours. For 5 hours Team 7, the family and Ebisu had to hear Zabuza rant about how he would kill the boy if he harms his son. It was 5 gruesome hours. Outside, Haku and Menma told each other about their pasts and hobbies. They got to know each other and soon started playing with each other. They loved being near each other, but never understood why. When the sun went down, the two returned home to finish Zabuza ranting to their pals. Zabuza looked at them and began to inspect Haku to see if they got into fights. Satisfied, Zabuza turned to a sweaty Menma. Menma, afraid that Zabuza would kill him, was pleasantly shocked when Zabuza said, Kid, want me to train you to use weapons? Shock turned to happiness as Menma joyously said, yes. Thank you Zabuza-sama. Quote. Zabuza laughed at the fact someone used sama and ruffled Menma's hair, saying, you're not bad, Gaki. Ebisu, mind if I take him off your hands? Quote. Oh god no. I'll have to deal with those two monsters instead. Then, what if I joined as Team 11's unofficial sensei and Haku as the team's unofficial Gaki? Fine by me as long as you don't leave me alone with those things. Quote. You got yourself a deal. Naruto went towards Menma and whispered in his ears, next time you want to take Haku out for long, please inform Zabuza. We had to hear him rant for 5 hours. Menma chuckled and said, duly noted. Naruto smiled at the fact that he may have one more family member. He figured he could see how things play out from this mission and see whether he could trust Menma or not. It was at that moment, 2S*TTY girls decided to make a grand entrance. They went down the staircase as if they were some queen, and wore clothes inappropriate for this event. They wore short dresses, Sakura's was pink and Mito's was red, with golden embroidery around the top part. They wore glass heels and tied their hair up in a bun, leaving a few strands from the front to dangle. They wore long golden earrings and wore makeup. It looked like they wore horrible masks instead. All in all. 1. Were the dresses cute? Yes. 2. Did it suit them? Hell no. 3. Were they wearing it appropriately? God no. It was clear that they just wanted to show off, and it was clear that they couldn't give a damn about the mission. Inari grew angry at them. Why are you wearing something so fancy for a mission? Don't you even have any respect for missions? Mito snapped back. Listen kid, don't snap at us just because you don't have the money to afford anything. Don't talk like that to us because your clothes look like rags. We have the right to remain beautiful and we can do whatever we want. Who gives a damn about this mission anyways? It's a piece of cinch for me since I'm the daughter of the Hokage. That means I am the best. Now, if you apologize and become my dog, I'll think about lending you some of my money. At this, both Sakura and Mito laughed while Inari was on the verge of tears. Anger flooded two souls as they pinned down each of them. Who were they? Why, of course, it was Menma and Haku. Menma pinned Mito down while Sakura trembled under Haku. Menma spoke, his words laced with anger. Listen here you little bitch. I don't want to hear you speak another word of disrespect towards Inari or anyone here. If you do, you'll be sorry. He growled. Why are you siding with them Menma? Against your own twin. You should be supporting me, not them. Quote, I don't support sluts. How dare you call me a slut? Apologize or else. Or else what? You'll drag your slutty ass to your father and beg him to punish me while you lace the truth with your lies. You see, I have witnesses and allies here. The only ally you have is the other slut that's being pinned up. Not to mention, I'm much stronger than you. Quote, what a J joke. We both are on the same L level. Not at all. You see, while you were out playing with your only friend, I was training. I kept up with training and grew. Not to mention, I have my own personal sensei. Mito perked up, you got us a sensei. Great job, now we can beat that demon. Quote, don't you dare call him a demon, bitch. And clean your ears, I said I have my own sensei, he won't teach the likes of you. Menma got up and left towards the dining hall, while everyone else, even Inari, tried to hold back their laughter at the two faces. Haku caught up with Menma and the two started planning on ways to kill two bitches. By nighttime, all left towards their rooms. Sakura and Mito in one tiny room. Sasuke, Sai, Naruto, Haku and Menma in another room. And Kakashi, Zabuza and Ebisu in the last room. No one argued with the arrangements, except the two sluts who wanted to be with their Sasuke-kun. In the sensei's room, Haku and Menma make a cute couple, Kakashi started. What? Zabuza cried. I agree, they are so cute together. Ebisu said. No, Haku is not at the age to date. Quote, so, he can kill but he can't date? Kakashi asked in amusement. In Naruto's room, all slept quietly. Sasuke, Sai and Naruto on one bed while Haku and Menma slept on another bed. Good night, Menma wished. Good night, everyone else replied. It's been a week since Zabuza's and Haku's arrival. A week since Zabuza began training Menma. During this time few things changed. 1. Training was going well for all but the two pigs. They refused to get their outfits dirty and believed they had enough power and didn't need more. Menma was improving immensely, to the point that it shocked even Naruto. He was going a little slower than when Naruto started training, but was amazing nonetheless. 2. Naruto started to train alone, with his summons and the two deities in him. He has gotten better at combined attacks with his summons, the three bosses. The best part is Ulrika, the wolf boss, was interested in Menma. She said that when Naruto felt it was the right time, he should give Menma the wolf summoning contract. However, he won't become Ulrika's summoner since she is Naruto's. Same with Manda, she won't be Sasuke's summon since she is Naruto's. However, today Naruto and the others, except the two pigs, marched towards the final showdown versus Gato and his goons. Naruto secretly left behind a shadow clone knowing Gato may try to send someone to kidnap Inari and Tsunami. He knew the two pigs would be useless against even a non-ninja. They were just horrible. They all marched and faced Gato and his mercenaries. Each held their head high. No one from either side moved an inch, tension built up. Sweat trickled down the goons, seeing the ninjas they had to face. It was quiet for quite a while, till Gato was stupid enough to break it. Seems like you joined them Zabuza. Honestly. Well, no matter, I was planning on killing you and that pest of yours once you killed the ninjas. This just makes it easier. Gato eyed his enemies till he came upon Naruto. He smirked and said, "Well, hello boy. For a boy you are very beautiful. Yes, you would be perfect for me. I was looking for a plaything and I finally found one. Why don't you surrender now boy? Well, I would have to thank your whore of a mother and that bastard father of yours. I bet they'll sell you to me for a good price." He licked his lips, lust clouded his eyes. Naruto looked calm outside, but was boiling in rage. He smirked, "While I do agree my so-called father is a bastard, my mother however isn't a whore, unlike you. She's an amazing person and I would keep my mouth shut if I were you." Gato smirked, "A feisty one EY? Well then, why don't you bring your whore of a mother to me too? I can show you both a wonderful time in my bed. I'd pound you mercilessly, till neither one of you whores could thinking about anything but pleasure. Don't worry, my men will try you too. We do share. You'll be my personal slaves, my personal sluts. You'd be licking my feet for more. Ha 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 ha." Quote. Naruto became infuriated, "I've had enough of your shit. Charge." Naruto activated his Boringan and turned the mist all around him to blades of water. Those blades impaled many goons. He summoned Manda's poison sword, which he called Pwa, and slashed every goon there. The poison from the sword entered each of them, making them feel as if they were burning inside, which they were. It was excruciatingly painful till the end. He turned towards Gato and smirked at the frightened expression. Please don't kill me. I'll give you anything." Naruto slowly walked closer, his Boringan glowing, and stopped right in front of Gato. He grabbed his head hard and squeezed it tightly, earning a scream from Gato. "This is what you get for disrespecting my mother and I Satan's flames." Quote. Gato's body was covered in black flames as he screamed in agony. After a few minutes, Gato dropped dead, burnt to a crisp. Naruto turned to face his teammates and saw a few shocked faces, Ebisu and Menma. Ebisu quickly turned his shock to a smile and gave Naruto a well-deserved thumbs up. Menma ran towards Naruto and said, "That was awesome. You are so amazing. Yosh, I'm all fired up now. I vow to be just as strong as you." Menma said happily. Naruto smiled brightly at his brother and raised his fist. Menma saw this and raised his fist so that they could fist bump. Sasuke came closer too and said, "Looks like I still have a lot of things to learn before I can find my brother. I hope he's okay." "Don't worry, he's safe. I promise," Naruto said. "Your brother?" Menma asked. "Yeah, he has a reason for attacking the clan and I know it. I'm going to find him and get answers. Don't tell anyone though, if people found out that I knew then they'll have my head." "Is that why you pretended to hate him?" Quote. "Yep, everyone who Naruto trusts knows this. In fact, Naruto is the reason I'm not seeking vengeance. He told me that Itachi must have had a reason. I remember him crying that day, crying for what he did. And I need an explanation, I need him." Menma said, "Don't worry about me. My lips are sealed. I'll help you as much as I can." Sasuke smiled. "Thanks." Quote. Naruto smiled, "Seems you two are ready." He removed 2 scrolls from a seal in his hand. The scrolls floated up and opened by itself. One landed in front of each. "Naruto, is this what I think it is?" Sasuke asked. "Yep, congratulations you two. You are ready for your first summons. Sign your name with your blood and your summon will appear, along with a tattoo on your hand." Both eagerly wrote their name and 2 pop sounds could be heard. In front of Sasuke was a long snake. "My name ISSSSSIA. I am the U-Guess St. Nietzsche of Manda. I can essence great potential from the U. C. Call me whenever, no matter the OCCC Kashin." Sia disappeared, and a snake tattoo similar to Naruto's appeared on Sasuke's left wrist. "My name is Sam, the Great White Wolf and the nephew to Ulrika. You're meant for great things pup. Like Sia, call me whenever and for any occasion. See you around." Sam disappeared, leaving a wolf tattoo similar to Naruto's on Menma's left wrist. Everyone smiled and congratulated the two. Naruto could feel Sai feeling a little left out and made a mental note to get Sai summoned too. Hiruzen and Kurama read that mental note and decided to find a summon for Sai. They all left to the house and Naruto ended the goons outside, which his clone had caught and tied. Inari and Tsunami were cooking lunch while the 2 pigs were unconscious on the floor. Clearly because they were overpowered by the 2 goons. How pathetic. After lunch and waking the 2 pigs up, everyone, including Haku and Zabuza, left for the Hidden Leaf village. When they left, Inari turned to his grandfather. What should we name this bridge, Grandpa? Quote, how about, the Great Inari Bridge? Inari smiled and said, I have a better idea. The Great Naruto Bridge. Quote, it was night time as the group of ninjas made camp. They, except the two banshees, were outside, roasting marshmallows and singing songs. The two banshees refused to leave the tent since they didn't want to get bitten by mosquitoes. Honestly, they're ninjas worrying about mosquitoes. Back to the group outside, everyone was taking turns, talking about scary stories from their past. It was currently Kakashi's turn. As I ran towards the ally, I realized I was trapped. Soon after, I was surrounded by a mob of angry women with sticks. They started to beat me up for a good hour. Their faces looked demonic, especially Anko's, who just happened to be there. It was the scariest thing ever. Quote, everyone looked at him with an, are you serious look. Naruto voiced out all their thoughts, that's what you get for peeping into a girl's bathhouse, pervert. Kakashi sheepishly rubbed the back of his head. He looked at Ebisu, who seemed to have been thinking of something. What's wrong, Ebisu? Kakashi asked. I have a question, Kakashi. Quote, shoot, did you get hard? Come again? Quote, did you get hard looking at the naked ladies and even being chased after ladies in their towels only? By now, Ebisu's face reddened. Come to think of it. No, I didn't. Strange. Naruto thought of something. Kakashi, tell me the first name you think of when you think of who you could tie up and pound. Iruka. No, wait. What? Quote, Naruto smiled, seems you have the hots for a certain dolphin. Be sure to tell him when we get back. Time for bed. I'll take first watch. Ebisu second. Naruto third. Got it? Well then, good night. Kakashi said as he pushed the laughing crowd into their respected tents. Their tents went in this order. Tent 1. Kakashi, Ebisu and Zabuza. Tent 2. Sasuke, Naruto, Sai, Menma and Haku. Tent 3. Mito and Sakura, who got a very tiny tent. As everyone slept, Naruto was in his mind, playing poker with the two beings in him. After a while, when the two stopped wanting to get their assess handed to them by Naruto, Hiruzen asked Naruto, Naruto, remember when you made a mental note about wanting to find a summon for Sai? Yes? We may have found the perfect one. He handed a scroll to Naruto. Naruto looked at the scroll and smiled. It was perfect for Sai. He looked at the two of them and asked, how did you get these? Quote, Manda. Oh, I'm sure he'll love it. Thanks. Quote, also, Kit, there's someone outside waiting for you. Who? Quote, you know who. Bring Sasuke along with you. Naruto smirked. He left his mindscape and hid the scroll for Sai. He quietly woke Sasuke up and made him follow. As they exited, they saw Kakashi. Naruto signaled Kakashi to follow him, and he did. A few minutes of walking later, they came upon a clearing. In the middle of the clearing, a man stood with a cloak to cover himself. He turned around to shock 2 out of the 3. Sasuke ran towards the man and tackled him to the ground while softly crying. Ni-san, he said. Itachi petted Sasuke's hair to calm him down. After a while, Sasuke stared at Itachi. What happened during the massacre, Ni-san? Quote, before Itachi could reply, Naruto said, I'd tell him now if I were you, Itachi ni. He has the right to know. Itachi nodded and explained everything to Sasuke. Kakashi already knew and was just listening intently. After a while, Itachi said, I'm afraid I must go now. I don't have much time. People may start coming after me. Sasuke wanted to stop him but knew he shouldn't, so he just bit his lip and nodded. Sasuke, when Naruto completes the exam, I want you and everyone Naruto loves in the village to escape. We are going to build a village which cannot be corrupted, just as Naruto always wanted. We found a place, near the fire gate, to build a large village. The daimyos already agreed after learning the reasons and everyone contributed in the capital. We will start building it. When the Chunin exams end, it'll be half done. Good luck to all of you. Just as he said that, Itachi vanished, leaving only crow feathers. The boys told the rest of the group, except the 2 banshees, about the meeting and plan. Ebisu, Haku, Zabuza and Menma were all for it. Morning came all too quickly as Naruto woke everyone up. Well, almost everyone. He let the 2 bitches sleep. He didn't want this soon joyous moment to be ruined. As they got everything and were about to leave, Naruto said, Sai. Catch. Quote, Sai turned around and quickly caught the scroll Naruto threw to him. He looked at the scroll and was in complete shock. Naruto, is this what I think it is? Quote, yes, now hurry and open it. Quote, Sai opened the summoning scroll and wrote his name using his blood. A poof was heard and Sai came face to face with a large falcon. My name is K, brother of Kurao, the summoning boss in our world. I have been silently observing you for a while, so when Naruto, Kurama and Sarutobi were looking for a summon for you, I told Manda-chan to give them my scroll to give to you. Let's grow strong together. K disappeared as a tattoo of a falcon appeared on Sai's right wrist. Sai hugged Naruto and kept thanking the three of them. A joyous moment indeed. The group woke the two bitches up and made their way towards Konoha. A huge bomb was going to explode soon, and they were going to be part of the cause. Coming face to face with a shocked fourth Hokage was a sight for anyone, especially Naruto. He barely hid his amusement when his asshole of a father was learning about all the wrongdoings of his precious daughter and her close friend. Now, Kakashi and Ebisu. Surely you made a mistake. Mito and Sakura wouldn't do such a thing. I'm sure you meant Naruto and his friend Sai? Kakashi and Ebisu shook their heads, quite furiously, especially after hearing their younger brother's name come out with such disgust. Lord Hokage, all of us saw the childish behavior that Mito and Sakura displayed. If you want to continue defending them, may I suggest bringing a Yamanaka in this to read our minds? They'll see the truth that Mito and Sakura are not fit to be genin. This statement came to a shock to everyone, except Team 7, Zabuza, Haku and Ebisu, as Menma was the one to say it. Naruto didn't even bother to conceal the amusement perking out of his eyes. Seeing a Hokage shocked twice is really a tale to tell. Monitor, realizing that his daughter may be what they said, decided to brush that off and said, either ways, we cannot allow Zabuza and Haku to be staying here. Anbu, throw them in the dungeons. However, the Anbu didn't even move an inch. Monitor growled furiously, what are you waiting for? I am your Hokage and you do as I say. Once again, they did nothing. They won't listen to you, Minato, a voice said, one that Naruto and Sai could recognize anywhere. That old voice which held great amusement at the seething Minato, along with obvious detest for said man. Only one person could pull all that off, Danzo. What is the meaning of this, Danzo? Minato said with rage. It means that while you were chatting with them about how your daughter is an amazing ninja, which she isn't, the Ninja Council and I have approved of their stay. They will be staying with the three Sanins, who are currently making preparations as we speak. How dare you? The Civilian Council and I have not heard of this. It wouldn't matter, seeing as all the ninja clans agreed along with the three Sanins. Not to mention I hold the highest authority in the Civilian Council, making my word higher than theirs could ever dream to be. Even if you and the rest of the Civilian Council disagree, it wouldn't matter. You're outnumbered on this matter. Minato knew he was right, but he still hated it. Whatever, just all of you take the money and leave. Pouches were thrown to each of them, with Naruto having the smallest amount of money while Menma and Mito had money as much as the senseis. Everyone saw this injustice and was seething. Menma took Naruto's pouch and gave it to Mito while taking Mito's pouch and giving it to Naruto. He smiled triumphantly, this is fair. Since Naruto did do most of the work and Mito did none. Mito and Minato looked shocked at Menma. How could you do this to your own twin sister? As far as I'm concerned, I have only one twin and that is Naruto. Menma said, glaring to prove his point. Mito and Minato were so shocked that they didn't even realize when everyone left. Time skipped to Naruto and gang. The minute Shikamaru laid eyes on his blonde at a restaurant, he ran and enveloped the blonde in a hug. Then, he pulled back only to smash his lips on his blonde's lip and kiss him deep. It was a whole minute before Shikamaru let him go, for air. The group left while Shikamaru and Menma were getting to know each other. Kakashi and Ebisu, along with Haku and Zabuza left to do whatever they wanted to do. They were soon joined by the other members of their group, who welcomed Menma with smiles, a clear underlined threat saying, if you hurt Naruto, you will feel pain worse than death. Poor Naruto was too oblivious to see this threat. Naruto told them about the meeting with Itachi and the future plans, while casting a silencing jutsu around them so no one could hear them. All agreed to follow Naruto and told him that they'll ask their parents to move with them to the city as all their parents loved Naruto. As they were walking, Naruto noticed a familiar redhead heading their way. He ran past his confused friends and twin and hugged the redhead. Gaara! Gaara! Naruto screamed in joy as he pounced on his brother. He missed his brother and mother, they were practically family. His friends came towards them and stood, waiting for an explanation. Naruto reluctantly let go of his brother, which Gaara was thankful for. After all, he had never known anyone to make a death stare as horrifying as his father until he saw Shikamaru. As soon as Naruto let go of Gaara, Shikamaru released his arm and brought Naruto towards him, practically threatening anyone daring enough to take the oblivious blonde from him. Two more people approached and stood beside Gaara. However, only Naruto seemed to know who they were as his smile widened. They were Kankuro and Temari. The two were about to hug the living daylights out of Naruto, until they saw the threatening aura protruding out of the glaring male behind him. They were too scared to take another step. Naruto, who seemed to have realized that he hadn't introduced his friends to his family, turned around ready to explain their unspoken questions. He reluctantly let go of Shikamaru's overprotective hug, but still held his hand. He coughed to get everyone's unnerving attention and began introductions. Guys, you remember that I left Konoha, right? Well, while traveling, there was a rumor going around that the case cage had 3 children, and one of them was a Jinchuriki. Since Uncle Orochimaru, Uncle Jiraiya and Tsunade Baan knew him, we all left to go to Suna. These are his children. That's Kankuro, he said while pointing at the purple tattoo face boy. And that's Temari, he said while pointing at the blonde who had 4 pigtails, and that's Gaara. Gaara is a Jinchuriki, he said while pointing to Gaara. They are like my siblings and we are family by all but blood. Shikamaru's murderous aura deflated completely upon hearing the word, family. He heard about them and knew Naruto loved them dearly. What kind of boyfriend would he be if he killed them? Naruto introduced them to his siblings, which soon became awkward when he tried to find the right words to introduce Menma without getting Menma killed. However, it seemed his Suna siblings had a big heart as they reached out and hugged their new brother. But it was quite clear that they whispered Menma a warning stating, "Hurt Naruto and you'll wish you were dead." It became quite obvious that they threatened him, especially after he paled drastically. However, deep inside Menma knew that they were just being overprotective. If he was in their shoes, he would have done the same. While they were chatting with one another, Shikamaru's left arm wrapped around Naruto. 4 adults approached them: Tsunade, Jiraiya, Orochimaru, and Rasa. Naruto eyed Rasa, seeing him brought immense happiness to the blonde. He ran towards them and hugged Rasa, who hugged him back. He introduced Rasa to his friends, who surrounded him and stared in awe. It was their first time seeing a competent and caring Kage. The 2 spirits inside Naruto seemed to want to come out and greet their old friend, not so bad human friend. Naruto told Rasa about this and the whole gang went towards the Forbidden Forest, where Naruto released the 2. It was quite a lot of fun, especially seeing Menma's reaction. Naruto had forgotten to explain to Menma about Kurama and Sarutobi Gigi before releasing them. And once again, Menma was greeted with warm hugs and threats of a painful demise should he ever harm Naruto. The rest of the day was spent in the Forbidden Forest, where they were later joined by Ibiki, Enko, Kakashi, Iruka, Kushina, Makoto and Fugaku. Danzo came for a bit before he had to leave and oversee the Anbu Roots training. They all chatted and played quite a bit, before each started to train. Naruto had, before training began, already explained about the plans after the Chunin exams. All agreed to follow him, with or without their parents. It was, however, quite clear that the parents would come. They all simply adored Naruto. The women love him as their own child, and because of that logic they tend to dress him up in a lot of kimonos. Since Chunin exams were coming up, each female was looking for the perfect outfit for Naruto, which scared Naruto. He had to run away from home a couple of times when Kushina and Tsunade brought home a mountain of kimonos. The highlight of the evening was the training match between Naruto and Gaara. Each possessed their own abilities. Naruto could control fire and water, and Gaara could control sand. Gaara had a small advantage seeing as he was raised and trained with the sand his whole life. Then again, Naruto was quite strong. They fought head to head, none giving the other an upper hand. The sight, though it would have been gruesome if someone else was to fight, was beautiful. It was the pictorial definition of never giving up. The sight entranced any who were lucky enough to see it. However, seeing as this was the forbidden forest, no one dared to go there other than this group. In the end, Naruto won. Both were healed before they set off on their own. The Suna group would be staying with the three sages, Shizune, who was preparing the rooms all day. Poor Shizune, Kushina and Naruto. Naruto, however, was going to stay with Shikamaru. The two spirits decided to spend the night in the sage's house, wanting to give Naruto alone time with Shikamaru. However, seeing as they were supposed to be dead, they transformed into foxes. Shukaku came out to say goodbye to Naruto, which scared Menma. At least he was informed of this beforehand. After dinner, Naruto and Shikamaru entered their room. Naruto decided that now was as good of a time as any to ask the lingering question, "Shikamaru, why are you restraining yourself?" This had startled the lazy genius. "What do you mean? I know you want to do more than hickeys, so why are you restraining yourself?" Shikamaru sighed. He should have seen this coming. He composed himself as best as he could before he muttered something. This was inaudible for Naruto, so when Naruto asked for him to repeat it, Shikamaru said, "Because you can give birth." A long and awkward silence followed this statement. But I'm a guy, half fox. Because of the adoption, Kurama told me that, since you are half fox, you can give birth. That's also why you look a little feminine. I have a penis. Boys can give birth too. There have been cases. Naruto, surprised by this new information about himself, went and hugged Shikamaru. He looked at his genius and said, "That's great. Now the Nara family can have an heir. And I can have my own child. With you." "Yes, but you have to remember we're only 12, Naru. Do you want to take it slow then? Wait until we're older to have." Yes. Naruto smiled warmly at his love. He planted a passionate kiss on the genius's lips and said, "I do too." The rest of the night, the two cuddled each other and slept peacefully. Finally the day the team got their scrolls that stated that they were qualified to participate in the Chunin exams came. Team 7, consisting of Naruto, Sasuke and Sai, was accepted. Unfortunately, so was Team 11. Ebisu had no choice in the matter, seeing as the Hokage and the civilian council were literally breathing down his neck. However, two good things did happen. 1. The team of 4 plus 2 senseis was split up. Mito and Sakura were the new Team 11 with their sensei being the Hokage, while Menma and Haku were the new Team 12 with their senseis being Zabuza and Ebisu. 2. As a result of the split, Ebisu was finally free. During this time, Menma moved into the sage's house and left behind the name Namikaze. Kushina and Naruto felt proud of Menma and, as a result, he was chosen to be the next head of the Uzumaki clan. It was Naruto's brilliant idea. Team 7 and 12 decided to meet with each other before going in without their senseis. They entered and were instructed to go to the third-floor building. However, upon reaching the second floor, they noticed a crowd gathered around two ninjas. Sasuke spoke first. "They do realize that we are on the second floor, right?" Sai smiled before saying, "What idiots." Menma scoffed. Even he could see through the jutsus. He noticed two rather familiar people arguing with the ninjas. "Look who's there," Menma said before pointing at Mito and Sakura. "Should we tell them?" Haku asked. "No, it'll ruin our fun," Naruto said before they continued to walk upstairs. They entered the room and scanned the area. They felt people releasing their ki at them but couldn't be bothered. They've felt worse before. Much worse. Naruto and the rest headed towards their group of friends and began to chat until Ibiki came in and led the group of chosen genins enter the examination room. They began the test and, within a few seconds, Naruto realized the aim of the whole thing. Ibiki was getting smarter. Naruto looked around lazily at the people here and noticed two genins absent, Mito and Sakura. Pathetic, he thought, trained by the Hokage himself but couldn't even see through a low-level genjutsu. This would greatly wound the Hokage's reputation, not that it wasn't already after the clan heads realized what type of person their Hokage really is. After the whole ordeal, only a few teams remained. Anko took them to their second exam destination, the Forbidden Forest. Unfortunately for almost all teams present, Naruto and his friends knew that forest inside out, so this was a cinch to them. They got the scrolls in lesser than 2 hours before entering the building. They hung out there, waiting for the 3 boring days to end so that the third exam could be explained. During the third day, Naruto could see the Hokage climbing up the stairs of the building, pointedly ignoring him and his friends, including Menma, before stating his announcements. As you have all completed this harsh stage, I would like to wish you a good job. Now, since there are only few teams here, draw your slot. There is a pair for each number in there. Whoever has the same number as you will fight against you in the final exam in 3 months' time. Now, 2 other exceptionally talented ninjas who were sick for the first 2 exams will be joining for the final exams, my daughter Mito and her friend Sakura. Whispers began to erupt as Mito and Sakura entered the platform and stood in front of the genin ninjas. This time, the whispers weren't so nice. Now, the Hokage began. On the day of the first exam, my daughter and her friend were drugged and knocked out. It seems 2 ninjas pretended to be them and look like failures. We don't know who they are, but I have a gut feeling about 2 people. So, they will be joining. The civilians began to clap while the ninjas glared. It was clearly an excuse. There were sensors around the whole of the building to make sure nothing like this would happen. Clearly the Hokage was lying. Every ninja there began to doubt, if not already doubt, their precious Hokage. Naruto looked around, trying to make sense of it all, until he saw Danzo. Danzo, instead of looking furious, smirked. The people started to pick up their numbers. Number 2 ninjas from the same village were pitted against each other, with 2 exceptions. Menma was going against Sakura, and Naruto against Mito. This was going to be easy. After they were dispersed, Naruto went to where he felt Danzo's chakra. "What's this about Danzo Gigi?" Naruto asked. "Your father made up that excuse along with the civilian council and the 2 heads. The ninja council protested, but then I thought, why not give them a taste of their own medicine? I voted in their favor and told the clan heads in Bray's code, without Minato seeing, my idea. They too accepted their false story. However, when they said that you and Sai were guilty, we drew a line. I was hoping you would be paired against Mito, so now you can show who's better in the exam. My Black Ops will make sure that team doesn't cheat. Until then, train hard. Thanks Gigi," Naruto said in happiness. Later that night Naruto told the plans. They all smirked, oh how they couldn't wait. "So, you're saying is, I'm going to be trained by Kurama, Gigi and Uncle Orochi. Sasuke and Sai are going to be trained by Kakashi, Itachi and Pervy Sage. And Menma and Haku are going to be trained by Zabuza, Ebisu and Auntie Tsunade?" "Yep," Gigi replied. "What about Mom?" "Well, honey," Kushina began, "after you are done with your training, I will be teaching you and Menma the Uzumaki chains. And, since you already know a lot about sealing, I'll be teaching some things about sealing to Menma too." Naruto nodded in agreement, it made perfect sense. "So, are we going to train somewhere?" Orochimaru smirked, "You'll see." For 3 months, Naruto and his senseis trained in a hidden forest. Sasuke and Sai trained with their senseis along with Gaara's group in Suna, while Menma and Haku trained with their senseis in Spring Country. Before Naruto left, he gave his boyfriend a huge kiss. During the 3 months, progress of the new village had been going extremely fast. They had decided to just rebuild Uzo Shiogakure, and Suna gave full support. Itachi informed them all that the village would be completely rebuilt just as the exams ended, meaning they could defect right after the exams. They had sent a letter to all the daimyos, stating their reasons why they were doing such. In the end, the daimyos gave full support, which helped to remake Uzo Shiogakure and provide settlers as well as armies, and signed documents stating that all of them were able to leave Konoha. Which mean, every ninja, at least, those who didn't torture Naruto, so most of the ninjas were going, would defect. Clan heads were already informed. Unfortunately, some clan heads had to make the defects without their elders since the elders were assholes. Like the Hyuga clan elders. Danzo, along with Teuchi and Amane, and the Anbu Black Ops, were the only civilians going. 3 months passed fairly quickly. It was time for Naruto to fight Mito. This was the last match and all of Naruto's friends won. Both were in the fight ring. Mito smirked, feeling victorious. Naruto kept his cool facade. Start. The proctor began the fight. Naruto swiftly moved towards Mito and punched her hard in the stomach. It was so fast that she couldn't even react. She was thrown back and hit the borders while spitting out blood. Pathetic, Naruto thought. Most of the ninjas hurrahed while some of the ninjas and the civilians booed. Mito ran towards Naruto with a blade in her hand and attempted to hurt him, but she could never land a hit. Finally, cursing, she used a Rasengan and went towards Naruto. Naruto immediately activated Boringen and a hug wall of chakra-infused ice was made between Naruto and Mito. The ice did not break upon impact. The Rasengan was too weak to put a dent in the chakra-infused ice wall. Mito stepped back, startled. The wall broke into sharp shards, head towards Naruto and surrounding him as a wall of protection. However, the whole world could see his Kekkei Genki eyes. Everyone who did not know gasped, making Naruto smirk. He lifted his hand up, making the shards levitate above his hand and joined to make one huge dagger, glaring at the trembling figure of Mito. "Give up, or this will be painful," Naruto stated plainly. "No," she said, but she couldn't stop her trembling or stuttering. She was dead, and she knew it. Naruto sighed. Suddenly, the ice dagger was covered in flames, but the ice didn't melt. "Now, give up," Naruto started again. Mito couldn't speak, she was too afraid to. If she was dead before, she was screwed and dead and buried now. Mito was about to raise her hand and state that she would give up, when, all of a sudden a figure went to attack Naruto from behind. She saw this and smirked. The figure was about to kill Naruto when, all of a sudden, a wall of ice covered in flames protected Naruto. The figure's hand burnt, and he howled in pain. A hand of ice formed and picked him up, before throwing him down in the middle of the stage for all to see. Minato Namikaze. Minato could feel their doubts on his actions, so he gave an answer, "Naruto. I hereby banish you from Konoha for cheating in this match." Naruto raised his eyebrow, "And how the hell did I cheat? You never had a Kekkei Genki and that particular one was never in the family history. I bet you stole it from someone to help you cheat." Naruto smirked. "This Boringen, the Kekkei Genki, was given to me when I was very small, as a way to protect myself seeing as half of this village tried to kill me. You cannot give someone a Kekkei Genki. If that is true, then how could I have stolen it as you accuse me of? And yes, it is possible to get a Kekkei Genki, especially from the Kyuubi and the 4th Hokage." Many gasped at this. Minato screamed, "You liar. I banish you for lying to your Hokage and making contact with the Kyuubi. I bet it was to harm this village." Naruto snorted, "If I wanted to off this village, I would have done it years ago." Naruto took out a scroll from his body and placed it on the ground. He unwound it and made some handcuffs when 2 piles of human-sized clays came out. He put his hand on both of the clays and transferred his chakra to them. He basically created a chakra passageway for Kyuubi to take over one and for Gigi to take over another. Soon, the clay formed into said people. Their eyes opened and they moved a bit. What have you done?" Minato asked. "I created a passageway from my chakra into these 2 class bodies for the entities in me to take over them. Meet Lord 4th and the Kyuubi." The civilians gasped, unsure of what else to do. The ninjas however were quiet as they also had no idea what was going on. Gigi looked at Minato in disappointment. "When I sacrificed myself, all I asked from you was to treat your family equally. You swore on my dying words and threw them on the ground. You are not worthy of being the Hokage." Kurama came towards him next. "You hurt my Kitsu many times because you could not accept the fact that he was my Jinchuriku. I know you've tried to kill him too. Here's an eye-opener for you and all those who thought that my kid would be better off dead. If he did die I would be free, and trust me when I say that I would rip this goddamned village into shreds for what you have done. All those years ago, when I attacked, I was controlled by a masked man. Now, if I had a choice, I would definitely attack again. This time, of my own free will." Naruto stepped forward. "Everyone here, you know the truth. It is up to you whether you want to believe it or not. But I will tell you one thing, everyone I care about and myself will be leaving this pathetic village. We will head back to the newly rebuilt Uzoshiyogakure. It has been informed to all the daimyos, and every village knows about the abuse I felt here. Needless to say, all of your allies are cutting ties with you. Goodbye, bastardy and bitches." Suddenly, almost half of the village left. Konoha was left to rot. ************** 10 years later ********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** The village bloomed and prospered. It was known as the only village safe from war. The most peaceful and accepting village. Naruto and his friends had managed to bring Madara into the good side and work as the commander for the special ANBUS. Naruto gave Madara a body to possess, so he left Obito's body. Obito ended up falling in love with Rin, who was somehow alive but hid from everyone until she heard the rumor of Uzoshigakure, and the two married. Itachi and Kurama married. Sasuke married Gaara, which wasn't a surprise considering how much Sasuke flirted with the somewhat oblivious Gaara. Sai married Ino, Tenten married Neji, Choji married a Tamari, the weirdest couple ever, Menma and Haku married, Hinata married Kiba, Shino and Lee married girls from the village. Kakashi married Iruka, and Anko never really married. Finally, Naruto married Shikamaru. In the Uzumaki Nara household, 3 kids were running around. 2 boys and 1 girl. One boy had blonde spiky long hair tied in a pony, and narrow brown eyes and a tanned skin. His name was Kiyoshi Uzumaki Nara. The second boy had black short spiky hair and blue eyes along with tanned skin. His name was Shikamori Uzumaki Nara. Finally, the girl had very long and slightly spiky hair, and one eye was blue while the other was brown. She too had tanned skin. Her name was Kushi Uzumaki Nara. Their babysitter was trying to stop them from running. Suddenly, 2 figures entered the household feeling their chakras. The children ran to them and hugged them. They both chuckled. The babysitter caught up. Were they naughty, Miss Ayame? Not at all, Azukage-sama. You don't have to call me that, you know? You and Grandpa Tucci practically raised me. Dad would be mad if he heard you called him Grandpa, Naruto. Naruto chuckled. Ayame said her goodbyes before leaving the happy family. They sat down for dinner and then watched TV until it was time to sleep. In the master bedroom, Naruto and Shikamaru were on the bed, kissing. You know, Naruto said once he caught his breath. I think I want another child. Shikamaru groaned, don't make me go through that torture again. I'm the one who gives birth, not you. And I'm the one that has to take care of you. You're really fussy when you're pregnant. Naruto looked at Shikamaru with puppy dog eyes. Please? Shikamaru chuckled. We'll see. That's all for now. If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments.